All right, what's going on YouTube? Another true Big Blue podcast tonight with my special guest Big Dash.
What's going on, people?
Had to collaborate. You can't hear our voices on Twitter right now. We in Twitter jail for some reason. I don't know.
Got this in the gulag.
Right. But the rest of the Big Blue crew should be on a little later. But man, I've just been hearing some crazy things going on in the Giants community. Jay Lay, there go one part of the Big Blue crew. What's going on, Jay Lay?
Oh, hold on. Let me exit out. My bad. There we go.
All right. Can you hear?
Yeah, nah, I just had y'all playing on YouTube too. So
Okay.
what's
But
on,
man,
Dash?
What's going on, Jay?
Not much,
man,
man.
we gonna talk about a little bit about the free agency. What's going on to the chat? Crowd favorite Mia, D Dan, Michael R. We got Coach in the building.
What's
What's
up,
going
Coach?
on, Coach? Sir
Peace and
Bishop,
blessings.
Ballfoot Lifestyle, Almighty Finesse. What's going on, man? But unfortunately, y'all couldn't hear me in the spaces earlier today. I don't know what they got. I guess people with big in their names get put in jail on Twitter for some reason. I have no idea. But you guys were talking some interesting things today, man. Um, I just first I would like to I like to hear what Dash got to say about the free agency so far. Then I'm gonna get the coach and Jay Lay. What do you guys think about free agency so far for the New York Giants?
Oh, we gonna jump right in. Jump right in. I'm happy, man. Long story short, I'm happy. A couple things made me scratch my head a little bit. I was happy with the Paris Campbell, as you may know. Darius
Mm-hmm.
Slayton was a head scratcher to me because I thought that Paris Campbell was going to be the replacement of both Richie James and Darius Slayton. But now it looks like, Richie James, who I wanted over Slayton to come back, is the odd man out now. And of course, OBJ and all that business seems to be over too. But overall, we got a linebacker. Been waiting for that. Um, a lot of people will say that we probably got the best interior linebacker now. If you don't want to count Michael Parsons as interior linebacker, we might have the best linebacker in the division. Um, Again, we attacked the wide receiver room. I don't know who that Jets wide receiver is. Maybe you could tell me about him. Um, uh, I do like the backup depth at defensive tackle. Didn't know who he was at first too. Had to do a little bit of research. I've been in the gulag, so I've been able to look up a few people. Um, and then also, of course, Darren Waller, which I think if he's healthy, he gives us that option that we've been waiting for. We've been wanting a wide receiver one. Well, we got a receiver one. Might not be a wide receiver one, but we do have a receiver one. I believe in Darren Waller, and if he's healthy, I think he can be everything we've been waiting for. But I'll keep it at that and let everybody else share their opinions.
Hey
What's
guys,
up, Snarf?
What's going
Almighty
on, Mitch?
Finesse, Bobby Powers, E. What's going on, E? Jairus, what's going on, Jarius
What's going on to
Wells?
everybody?
Thank you for tuning in. Yep.
Well,
Jesus, what's going on? Um, Jay Lay, if you've been up on a free agency with the Giants so far this off season, what you think, man?
I have been up on it, Pat.
so have I, but I'm just a little PO'd about what happened with that. If I can shift to baseball briefly,
Do your thing.
uh, no,
you heard.
sir. We're
Oh,
not talking
okay.
about baseball.
Leader of the chat,
Gulag.
guys streaming it said no. So, uh,
Go ahead, Jay Lay. We're gonna get the bets. Go ahead,
yeah,
Jay
man,
Lay.
I'm pumped, bro. I'm happy as hell, man. We got Bobby Okereke. I mean, I wanted Tremaine Edmonds, but I mean, he's too expensive. And as you can see, our GM is actually competent and intelligent, and so he's not gonna overpay for anybody. And we got Bobby Okereke, which is just as good to me, in my eyes. He's just as good. Maybe a small tier below, but just as good to me. Darren Waller, I, this dude, man, everybody want to say, oh, he was injured and all this stuff. But hey, this is football. People have injuries, okay? If you get hurt, that doesn't mean, oh, he's trash now. He's injured. Like, bro, and then he's in the Kafka offense with, I don't know if you guys heard of the guy, Travis Kelsey. I'm not saying that he is him, but he was mentioned recently in the last few years as being a part of that group. So, I mean, I don't see how that could be bad. And Paris Campbell, that's great. Another burner. I'm actually happy we signed back Darius Slay. That's 2 burners plus Wandale Robinson. That's 3 guys that ran a 4-3, and they're common. I mean, you know how many motions and sweeps and posts is about to be happening. You know, like the backfield. You ain't gonna know who's gonna get the ball, but DJ gonna take off with it. You gonna hand it to Rondell. Darius Slay might go out. We don't know. And then we still have Saquon. And we're not done yet. And we still got the draft. I'm happy.
Where's all this money coming from, Jay-Lay? Where's all this money coming from?
I told you guys about the cap.
Hey,
this shit don't exist.
They got McVay's plug, bro. They got
right.
I don't know, man.
But Mets, what you think about it so far?
I have a problem with most of the signings. They've been very competent, rather clever. They fill most of the receiving core needs, as well as some defensive needs, which means that at most we could draft a couple of second or third string receivers, and then get our O-line and defense and linebackers that we need in the draft, no matter with our picks, by whatever the cost. That said, I'm not certain how these free agent pickups will pan out. I mean, we've gotten receivers through the free agency in the past, and most of them have backfired. But then again, that proves how much of a complete and utter idiot David Gelman was with free agency pickups.
Okay, that's very interesting, Mets. NYG, if you there, what's going on, brother? What you think so far?
What's popping,
for everybody
Pat?
that's tuned in? I can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right, what's good?
NYG, what's going on, bro?
What's good, Dash, Pat, Mets, Coach, J-Lay. Shout out to the chat. I mean, I love everything that they're doing, because the New York Giants are gonna show you that you don't need a big name. I mean, yeah, we got Darren Waller, and that is a big name tight end, but the signings of guys like Paris Campbell, bringing back their own talent, and Darius Slayton, even guys like Matt Breeder. So I think people are missing something here, and what they're missing is the fact that you have the Kansas City Chiefs, and even to a degree the Baltimore Ravens, and even if you go back a few years to the New England Patriots, that have won games, and in Kansas City and New England's case, Super Bowls, by featuring the tight end at the position. So everyone that's looking for this number one receiver, I don't know if the Giants are gonna build up. Remember, Mike Kafka's our offensive coordinator. So
what's up, Tommy?
You gotta look at it in a sense to be like, all right, if he's the offensive coordinator, what's he gonna model his offense after? It's the Kansas City Chiefs. What else would he do? He learned under Andy Reid. And what is the Kansas City Chiefs' number one option over there? It's Travis Kelce. And who do we have? We have basically somewhat of his equal when healthy in Darren Waller. So I'm not looking for them to even spend a bunch of bread, as my man Dash would say, on some wide receivers. We got our wide receiver one. He just happens to be a tight end. But I'll let Coach go, and then we could come back around.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. Let me know what you think about free agency so far, and then I got to get into a topic after this one. But go ahead, Coach.
I'm ready tonight. Go ahead, yeah, Coach. I really want to hear what you got to say about all this.
Joe Shane is masterfully playing chess. He is playing the board. He is reading the board, and he is setting. He's literally playing 4 steps ahead. And he is surprising everyone with every move that you were not expecting, and he's setting it up to be checkmate eventually. Now, every move that he's done so far, if you really look at it, gear it towards the draft. We've complained about certain positions, and he's filled it, maybe not top of the line like everyone wants, not big names that everyone wants, but their quality. Add on top of that their contracts. Many of their contracts, they're easy to get out of. So he's not tying up money long term. So whether it's a 1 year cheap with what's his name at wide receiver we just signed today,
Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell. I mean, whatever it's a base of 3.5, with incentives that can lead up to $7 million or $7.5 million. So what that also does is that forces him to really play the game because he wants to make that money. And that's if you go and you look at a lot of the contracts along the line, they're incentive based. So Shane is basically showing us that hey, he knows what the heck he's doing.
Yep.
He's doing it very masterfully. He's setting up the financials down the line. Dash, you always talk about the money. And he's putting it in a position that no matter what, down the line, we're still going to have money and we can still bring in top level talent. Now, everyone talks about the receivers. Do y'all not realize that next year there's a lot of, after this past season, there's a lot of those top receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all these guys, they're going to be free agents.
If it ain't about the money,
So
don't be
guess
hitting that
what?
shit talking about it all the time.
And we're going to have money to spend next year to have the Giants in a very good position. The guys that he's bringing in have upgraded the talent from last year. Maybe we make a run and we can make a strong run in the conference for the playoffs. You know, maybe things fall in place and we can make a Super Bowl run. I don't know. But Shane has just showed me that no matter what, guys get hurt, we can get out of their contracts, and let's just say, for argument's sake, we don't have a winning record. The next year, we put ourselves in a position to make serious plays within the draft when the talent pool comes out. Plus, you have talent that's going to be coming out next year. So what he's done right now is masterful. And this year, for this draft, at 25, literally we can go wherever we want. Seriously. And let's just say one of the top receivers, everybody's clamoring for the receivers. Let's say one of them dropped down to 20. He can make a good trade to go up and get him. And if not, somebody is not there, he can trade back into the draft and acquire other pieces. So we are in a very, very, very fortuitous position in terms of free agency and in the draft. And that's because of the master, Joe Shane.
We ain't moving up no 5 spots.
Hey, what was that you said, Coach?
Yo, give me 1 second. Thank you for the 67 people that's in the chat already. Thank you guys for tuning in. Now hit that damn like button while you in the chat. There's only 27 likes. Right. There's only 27 likes, so we got 67 people in the chat. Don't do me dirty.
Hey, Coach, I love you, bro. But
you said, hey, Coach, you said
no. I didn't say we were. What I'm saying is,
I'm just saying we
no,
not.
but no. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Okay, because one of the questions we're talking about is Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, I have is the number 1 player on my draft board. Now he didn't do well at his pro day. He came in heavy, and from the little clips that I saw, he wasn't moving very well, with the drill. So, people question with his arrest, is he going to drop? I'm saying that if that boy is there at 20, you could talk about John Michael Schmidt, but that boy, seriously, if you get him right, Pat, you can tell him what I'm talking about. If that boy is at 20, you move him because he has gold jacket capabilities, and you can get a center later on because there's quite a few. You may have your man crush for John Michael Schmidt, but I'm telling you right now, if that boy is there at 20, I'm willing to give up a 3rd rounder, to move up to get him because he's that.
Doesn't matter what you think, Coach. No, he's not.
But Coach is already on track to what I was going with the next question.
Sorry,
got a couple of subjects that I want to talk about tonight.
Let's get it.
Hopefully, it won't keep everybody too long tonight, but got a lot of talk about. Thanks, LA. I sent Joe the link. Hopefully, he pops on a little later. He's been doing his rehab and everything.
Yeah, he probably sleep. He probably tired as hell.
Yep, thank you, LA, for the $1.99 super chat. He says number 1 wide receiver, no DJ, top 10 QB leap, draft Addison. You will see. If he's there, we'll see. But let's talk. Let's talk about the draft real quick, Coach. He brought it up before I could. So now that we have the free agency that we have had so far, we got our number one linebacker as far as our sideline guy. We got some depth along the defensive line with Nunez. Nunez Sanchez, something like that. Roches. There you go. And when you
call
actually
them nachos.
Nachos Roches. When you actually look at his film, he's actually quite dominant when he gets a chance to play in there. He's actually pretty damn good.
Quick feet.
Yep. We re-signed a lot of our own players, which our GM said that he was going to do. We brought back Slayton. We brought back Breida. And we got DJ and Saquon back. We traded for Waller. We got Campbell. I think the Jeff Smith guy is going to be our kick returner, punt returner. Hodgins is back. What do we do with that first pick in the draft? Do we go with the center position?
John Michael Schmitz.
Or
do we try to get our number one wide receiver? Although we've gotten a lot of receivers in free agency. Do we go cornerback?
We can get our number one wide receiver in the second or even the third round.
Do we go cornerback?
Yeah,
or
that's where I'm leaning, Pat.
Yeah.
Or do we go the linebacker route? Well, if Trenton Simpson is there, do we try to pair him with Bobby O?
Get a linebacker.
I mean, me personally, I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it came down to John Michael Schmitz and a receiver like Zay Flowers or somebody, I'm starting to lean towards John Michael Schmitz because it doesn't matter how many weapons you have. If we don't have a center, the block, and they're still getting pressure straight up the middle, it takes away the explosiveness of the offense.
Look at this.
So if you really do that, we got better players, but we have to play the same style offense. So it really doesn't matter. There you go. What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a while, man. But I'm leaning more towards the center in the first round because I know we won't be able to get Schmitz in the second round. And I think it's a huge drop off between
Schmitz and Weipler and
and those guys. And I know we won't be able to get Schmitz in the second round, but Dash, go ahead and start us off. Then we're gonna kick it to Lou, Mets. You know how we do it, man.
Snarf.
I like what you're cooking with the center spot. For me, the way I'm thinking is, I still think if one of those top cornerbacks are there, I'm going corner first. I still think I think we need to go corner first because I'm thinking about Adoree Jackson and seeing who's behind him. And I think if we can get one of those guys, I still think cornerback first. I do like John Michael Schmitz. I can't put Trenton Simpson as much as I've been looking for a linebacker. Bobby O pretty much satisfies that first round itch for a linebacker. And I think Trenton Simpson fell out of the first round a little bit with everybody else coming up behind him. But I'll throw in another name that if they're there, that I'll take a flyer. If Nolan Smith makes it to 25, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But I'm thinking cornerback first. If Nolan Smith is there, I'm going Nolan Smith. But then I'm all for solidifying this offensive line. I'm all for an ugly draft. When I say ugly, I mean in the trenches, an ugly draft. If we can do that and solidify this offensive line, just because what you said, we can have all these wide receivers, a receiving tight end, but you can't do a damn thing if you don't got the line to protect your quarterback. So I'm all for that.
Exactly.
I've been screaming that shit for the longest, bro.
I know.
Thank you, Tally Rand, for the $4.99 super chat. He says, I think Ojulari is the key. On half a leg, we still made the playoffs. Hopefully, he'll be steady in full strength. Hopefully, Tally Rand. Thank you for tuning in, brother. But go ahead, Dash. Finish off, bro.
The last thing I saw as far as rankings go, I actually saw that, I don't believe it, but I saw that they have Whippler ahead of John Michael Schmitz as far as the rankings now at center, which was crazy.
Yeah, it's a little weird to me too.
And not by a little either. We talk about 15 spots. ahead of him. So it's PFF though. We already know how that goes. But that's it for right now. I'll let somebody else go.
Hey, shout out to Jesus. He says King
What's
Snarf to
going
the
on, Jesus?
gulag, 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 gulag.
Yeah, we in the gulag.
Gulag 10 times. Hey, Snarf, you're a celebrity, bro.
Gulag.
Hey, I'm telling you, you gotta embrace the snarf, bro.
Right,
That's your niche, bro. Just
man. You're a
embrace it.
celebrity now, bro. You're a celebrity.
You go to
What's
Comic
good?
Con dressed up as Snarf.
Right,
Nah,
yep.
don't do all that. Nah. Don't do all that.
Line on. Big Blue Krew, Snarf. All right, G Nation, what's going on, man? Well, I already know
Well,
what you think, but
yeah,
the world want to hear what you're talking about, bro.
for the very reason that you echoed a minute ago. If you solidify this line for the next 6 to 8 years, even if you back out of DJ's contract in 2 years and he doesn't turn out to be the guy, or Saquon walks and we have to find a new running back, at least the guys that you bring in are coming into a stable line, so that'll lessen the learning curve to the NFL playbook and things of that nature. The line will have chemistry, they will have already gelled, so it'll be plug and play as far as replacing the quarterback, running back, or whatever. So
That is very true. Mr. Fernandez agrees with you. He says both lines need to be fortified. And that is very true. Go ahead, Lou, if you weren't finished. Go ahead, bro.
nah, and and the reason I say, because he's projected at, I think, 46 or something like that, John Michael Smith,
Yep.
and we don't pick again until 57. If we don't grab him at 25, there's no way he's going to be there at 57. And like you said,
You're absolutely right.
Weipler, Tipman, and those other guys are extreme drop off in skill and talent in comparison to John Michael Smith. And honestly, our offensive line has been atrocious for at least a decade now, at least. So I'd like to see that fixed, so then we can really get a good evaluation of what our offense is going to look like when there's actually time for the running back to hit his gap or the quarterback to go through his progressions.
True. I'm going to read a couple of comments, then we're going to get the Snarf, a.k.a. Mets. But he says, Giants Clown says, see, even Eli's doing it. Snarf, 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 snarf. He says, every year there's a center we fall in love with. And he said, I think we need to grab him quick. But then he is always there in the second round and down. That's actually not true. We fell in love with Linderbaum, and he went before we actually got to the second round. I think Linderbaum went in the first round to the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people always say positional value when it comes to the center. Like centers is not the quarterback of your offensive line. I don't get it. Maybe I need to do more film reviews showing how much the center means to the offensive line. And I think I'll do that before the draft.
Eyes for the quarterback when it comes to reading the defense too.
Eric Johnson seems to agree with us. Louis says, like I said earlier, looks like we're going for the center from Minnesota in the first round. True.
Please.
Frank, he says NYG22 was good.
What's good, Frank? What's good, bro?
Hey, Jayla, I just sent you that contact info so you can get with him and get all the logistics.
All right, man.
Tommy, what's going on, Tommy? Hope you're doing well, brother. He says Maximus Jones with the healthy O-line in this receiver room so far definitely makes a playoff run once again. Definitely true. Levance, he said, big shout out to the guys who play in the trenches, yo, for sure.
Fact.
Eric Johnson says, no cornerback. We don't have much luck drafting them in the first round. I think we got a heck of a chance to draft a good one in the first round this year. It's going to be kind of hard to mess that up.
I think we got way better scouts now this time around.
Right. Hey, Zeus, he says, we're trying to build a great wall of China. All we've had is Mexico's border. Let everyone in. True.
Good Lord.
Fernandez, he said, yes, sir. Just look up 2008 Giants playlist. The way they steamrolled past Ray Lewis and the Bully Ravens. Yeah, we steamrolled them. See, I told you you're a celebrity, Matt. Snarf. All right. Sakura. Hey, that's Street Fighter. He says, if Bijan Robinson is available at 25, do you take him and use him as a 1-2 punch with Barkley? He will be best player available at 25, or do you still draft for need? I don't think you take a running back in the first round unless you clearly know that Barkley won't be back next year.
Yeah.
If you take a running back in the first round, Barkley will not be back next year. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
That right.
Giants Clown said guys want the Linderbaum at 5 or 7. I'll be honest with you. I would be in the beginning. If we took Linderbaum at 7 instead of Evan Neal, we might be looking a little better right now, to be honest with you. But I do believe Evan Neal will turn into that right tackle that we need. Got to give him a chance. Wells, he says it's a tough call. What do we do? Draft a solid lineman to protect DJ or draft a solid cornerback to keep up with these badass receivers we got to go against in the East? That is very true.
That right.
Say, when's the last time we drafted a great cornerback in the first round? I can't tell you.
Was
adequate at best.
What's the dude? Aaron
Ross.
Aaron Ross was the first.
He
round,
wasn't great. He wasn't great though. He was decent. But he did his role. He played his role. I think was Corey Webster a second rounder or was he a first rounder?
Corey Webster was a second rounder. He was a second rounder. Corey Webster.
Shit. Well, then the next thing was Seymour a first rounder.
Corey Webster might have been a first. Because Corey Webster was here for the first run. First run. He might have been
here for both of them, I think.
Somebody gotta look that up. I might look that up.
But now, Pat.
Yeah, go ahead, Mets. Well, what do you think we should do in the draft in the first round?
I'd say if we have to replace a secondary player with a draft pick, it would be Darnay Holmes. Mostly because of how bad he was in the backfield, in the secondary backfield. On the other hand, we need a center at any and all costs, whether it's Weipler, whether it's Schmitz.
Webster, second round.
Yeah, second round.
So, anyway, either way, we need a piece to hold the front line, no matter which, hold the front line on offense and make coverage in the backdrops on defense.
Let's not forget that we got Wyatt Davis towards the end of the year last year, the guard.
True, and we're working negotiations with Jihad Ward right now, last I checked.
They already agreed to terms with Jihad Ward.
Right.
Yep.
But he's a defensive player. I'm talking about as far as the O-line. We signed Wyatt Davis late in last year. I think like when we had like 3 games left. He's a good guard.
But we couldn't use him because of how late in the game we brought him in.
Right. So what I'm saying is now with a year under his belt, a full off season to learn the playbook and get some continuity with the line. You draft a guy like John Michael Smith, then you're looking at Andrew Thomas, Wyatt Davis, John Michael Smith, and either McKeithen or Azudu or whatever at right guard, and Evan Neal. So I mean, that's a pretty stout offensive line.
Yeah, just as long as we just push Feliciano back to being a guard and not a center, or just cut ties with him.
Well, I think they're getting ready to cut ties with him, man. I don't think they're bringing him back.
I don't know, man.
Because you remember Bredesen could play center too.
I actually like that better.
That's a good point, Pat. I never thought about that they could easily slide Bredesen to center and put Azudu in at the left guard and McKeithen in at the right guard after Glowinski gets cut probably after next season. Good point.
Wyatt Davis is probably going to take Glowinski's spot.
You think so, huh? Wyatt Davis?
No. He's not going to jump in front of McKeithen, and McKeithen stays healthy.
I mean, some of this,
and I don't see him.
White light shift these guys this draft since the last 2 years. We've done it with Tony and now Robinson. I like the concept of shifting, but they seem to lack durability.
That is true. I don't think.
I mean, that's the problem with these guys lately. It's always sacrificing durability for mobility. Back when we grew up in the front line, it was always durability over mobility.
That's actually pretty freaking true, man.
That's because we had a more run-based game back then. Now it's more of a pass-first offense type of league.
Honey Badger, what's going on, Honey Badger? Right, everyone like and subscribe. Thank you, Honey Badger. But who's in the middle? J-Lay, what you think, bro?
Man, it's a toss-up, man. Between I believe you got to go since the signing of Bobby Okereke. We got Darren Waller, and I mean we got Paris Campbell. So I mean,
did you call him carrot cake? What'd you say?
Paris Campbell.
No, you said
No,
Okereke.
you said we signed who?
Okereke.
Jesus Christ, this kid here.
That's his name, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get
Yeah.
this boy back to sleep.
Luke called him carrot cake. That's hilarious.
Hey, maybe carrot cake, but he ain't sweet.
Right.
Say it fast enough, you can't hit. You can't tell.
But yeah, I think it's a toss up between corner because cornerback drops off a cliff, center drops off a cliff, and whoever we do draft in the first round needs to be ready to go now. They need to be able to start. You know what I mean? It should be nothing but just learning the playbook. It shouldn't be a lack of technique or footwork or hands or you know what I'm saying your determination or your mentality. It shouldn't be no question in any of that with the first round pick. So it has to be a home run. Last year was a home run, but we had 2 picks, so it's a lot more easier to, you know what I'm saying, have a big splash. But with this one, we need a hit. So I think most important and the least amount of depth that we have right now is center and lineman. So I mean, I think
We're definitely gonna talk about that later, Robert.
either center, you know what I'm saying, or guard or cornerback.
Okay.
I mean, but it depends on who's there. Because I mean, if Addison is there, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't care who's there. You get Addison. But if Joey Porter and Addison is there, man.
Talk about it.
If Joey Porter, Addison, and John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith is
Let
there,
me tell you, man. If Joey Porter is there at 25,
bruh,
it don't matter. To
his
me, it
daddy
don't matter.
was in the league. He's been in the NFL since he was a kid, basically.
You talk about a man-to-man coverage
Pedigree.
corner. Well, Wink likes. That's what Wink likes.
Yeah,
Joey Porter's my
I
favorite cornerback there.
think he's the perfect
Man,
corner for
he
what
won't
Wink
make it.
likes. Hey, thank you for getting to 100 in the chat. Thank you guys. Hit that
That's
like and
what's up. Hit that
subscribe
like
button
button.
if you haven't been in the chat before. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button for all these wonderful content creators out here. Big
Make sure
Dash,
you hit that
J-Lay,
subscribe button for G
Mets.
Nation Inside Sports, or I'm gonna come get you. I swear.
Please hit that like and subscribe button for Coach Ed Gladney's wonderful world of sports. Unpopular Opinion Sports. J-Lay has his channel. Mets has his channel as well. G Nation Inside Sports. Big Dash knows. And you're already here with Big Pat Sports Talk. So hit
Supercharged
that
down at
like.
the bottom.
Yeah,
Being
Yep,
a
Supercharged
hit
ninja.
that.
snuck in the building.
Hit that like and subscribe button for us. 100 people in the chat. Thank you guys. Coach, what do you think we should do in the first round, man? You're muted, Coach.
Sorry about that.
Hey, I do be paying attention to Coach, man, because I was on pins.
What's going on, 585 Mar?
Sorry about
Honey
that.
Badger. Thank you for getting us up to 100, bro.
I thought you was building anticipation, Coach. I thought you was just contemplating on it. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching film.
That's all Coach do is watch film.
No, it's up, but yeah, for the most part. Ideally, it's BPA.
It is gonna be party time.
Best available BAP, best available player. But if one of these DBs drops, seriously, you know, whether it's Banks, whether it's Gonzalez, Porter Jr., I mean, we're crying about that. We've been harping on that. You know, there's guys you can move. There's certain guys you can cut. So I do understand that. Lou, you talked about Schmidt because he's not going to be there for us at 57. But just like I said, you could move up in the first round. You can also move up in the second round. So if you want him that bad, you're going to make that move to move up. So, you know, the point is, if you want a player that bad and he's there in the second round and you're concerned looking at the draft board, then jump up and get him. But, you know, in the first round, you know, some of these DBs, there's receivers, you know, you have to look at it. And, you know, you guys made a great point about Nolan Smith. I mean, I didn't even think about that, you know, because the top of the board is going to be pushed because of the quarterbacks, the offensive linemen right there, the tackles at the top of the board. That's anywhere from about 7 to 8 spots that's going to push guys down that, you know, if you rate your board.
Thank you, Dr. Bernstein.
If you rate your board, some of those quarterbacks are not going to be rated that high. Like I don't know why I have this strong feeling that Richardson is going to Carolina. I mean, it's either him or Bryce Young. It's one of those two that I think are going there for some reason. It's just maybe I'm wrong, but it's a feeling. And the point I'm making is that if Richardson goes number one overall, most of us have him in the mid first rounds, if anything. And for him to go that high, that means you're pushing other players down. And that's what we should want. We want guys who, you know what,
True.
move, let those guys go up and get them so we can have players that fall to us. And then, like you said, Lou, about Schmidt, I mean, what's he projected in the mid 40s or early 40s?
Yeah, they got him in the 40s.
You can trade. You can trade if you want to, if you want him that bad. So I mean, that's how I see it, based on that. And I'm looking at the board, and I'm also listening to Joe Shane. I mean, he preaches positional value. Am I correct?
Yeah.
He preaches
Yeah.
it. So if you
Even
look
though
at
I hate that term, that's what he
I
preaches,
hate
Coach.
it too, but if you study the master, I said he's playing chess, positional value. Where is center usually rated in positional value? Probably second
Shit.
round down.
Yep.
So that's telling me right there, all right, unless you go to his personal workout and you really fall in love with him and he dominates and he's that much of a beast, then all right, I can see you. But realistically, I can't see Shane taking a center that high. Now if you said Osiris, all right, then I could understand him taking him there. But I can't see it based on what he said and how he preaches and the moves that he's been doing. So that's it. I passed the mic.
Go ahead, NYG. Put some of that knowledge on us real quick. Pause.
What's good, everybody, man? Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all go share this video on your Twitter page, your Facebook page, or whatever. I just did it. Takes you a couple seconds, man. All these guys are great content creators, all have good knowledge. But let's get into it. Now, as far as the first round, I would actually trade back. And the reason I would trade back is because I think the sweet spot in this draft is the second to third rounds. So if you can trade back from 25 and pick up another second and or a third, then I think you cooking with grease, because now Smith's the center, he becomes in play. Maybe one of the cornerbacks slip to the second round. Maybe a wide receiver you like slips to the second round.
A.T. Perry.
He might be in a third. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm saying. Even if you pick up another third, remember we just traded a third for Darren Waller. Maybe you trade back and get another third, an additional
We had two
third.
thirds. We had two thirds because that third was a compensatory pick from Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that, but what I'm saying though is if you take your 25th pick and you trade back, especially if you go out of the first round, you're definitely gonna at least pick up another second, possibly a third or a future fourth or something like that. So what I'm saying is the sweet spot for this draft where you can get the best value is in the second and third rounds. So to me, that's where you need to hit it out the park at. Now, as far as who I would pick if we stay pat, no pun intended, at 25, I think I'm leaning cornerback. And
yeah, there you go.
just because of what Pat said, if you think Ben Bredesen or Azudu can play center, you don't need to reach for a center. And I know Smiths is good, and I know he's the highest rated center in the draft. But again, like Coach said, positional value. They're not going to take a center in the first round. I can almost bank on it. You know what I'm saying? If he goes to the second round, I could see it happening.
Okay.
But I think they have more faith in the guys they have on the roster than we do. Go ahead, you was gonna ask a question?
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah, shout out to the 120 in the chat. My goodness, thank you guys.
They proved that in YG that they got more faith
something
than a lot of the fan base does.
I know we're talking Giants, but Greedy Williams was signed by Philadelphia. Just wanted to
Yeah, saw that.
I'm not worried about anything Philadelphia does. They might have one more good year.
they're matching up with
They just
what
get
we're
themselves
doing. That's what I'm
dribbled.
getting at,
Mhm.
and I like that.
Say
They
what
I
lost
like
12
that.
say
games
say
to
it.
Carolina.
Say it, that's what it is, because a lot of people don't realize that
They
you want to get better, but you got
they're
to
gonna
compete in
be
the division.
they're gonna be good for one more year, and then everything's gonna fall apart, man. Because
What
if
you
if
say?
they signed Greedy Williams from the Browns, and I'm not
You got
worried
another
about that
cornerback.
dude.
That's because they're
Uh,
losing. But they're losing Gardner Johnson.
Bradbury.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
Now they got Bradbury back. They got Slade back. They need a
I thought
replacement
Slade
for
was
Gardner
released.
Johnson.
No,
Huh?
they were
no,
good
they
with
brought
it.
him back.
Nah,
Okay,
they
Three-year,
I
they
was about to
did.
say,
three-year
man, that
short
was a
contract with
statement.
a 3-year.
They
But
brought him back for 2 years.
let me get to this statement real quick, because my brother MYG just told me it's a pretty much a fact that because of positional value that the Giants will not take a center in the first round.
You crazy?
And my question is, what the hell is wrong with taking a center in the first round if you will solidify your line?
Solidify.
Like I don't understand. I don't. Somebody has to explain this to me, because it's been going on draft after draft after draft, and year after year, our ranks of offensive line 30th, 31st,
You know why,
32nd,
Pat? Pat, I'm gonna tell
29th,
you.
It's the
30th.
I'm gonna tell you.
analytics.
Analytics. There you go, Dash. Boom. These guys are analytical.
I
They're
don't.
not the old.
You know damn well I don't give a fuck about
I
analytics.
know
Tell
you.
me.
I know you don't, Pat, but Joe Shane does. That's what
Fuck
I'm saying.
him.
He's,
Look at Lou.
Like,
Nobody gives a shit
We
about
not
no
an hour in yet, Lou.
because I go for statistics, and statistics show me that we got one of the worst offensive lines in the league since 2011. What 12? I mean, one of the worst.
That's 11 years.
And
bro.
all that is
Jerry
true.
Reese is the scapegoat for that.
Who was that?
Ask Jerry Reese is the scapegoat for that.
I mean,
Right.
we went to another GM, and he didn't get it fixed either.
Right.
That's two
And now
GMs.
I mean,
and
they
now
tried.
we're on
They
our
tried.
third
Weston,
GM.
but
they
now
drafted
we're on-
Weston
hold on.
Richburg.
But now we're on our third GM, and he has to fix it. Because if you're
Right.
making all these signings and you got these draft prospects that you're looking at to make this team better, it's not going to mean shit if you go sign 2 good receivers and another good running back,
All
and
that's true.
there's no blocking.
All that is true. Now here's a question though, because we only saw one center in the past, I think, few drafts that went first, and that was Linderbaum. And at some point in the draft last year, Linderbaum was the best offensive lineman, period. A lot of people were saying, and you see where he went.
Where'd he
Now
go?
you talking about John Michael Schmitz.
Where'd Lindemann
He
go?
is he is one of the top centers. Well, he is the top center in the draft right now, even though PFF thinks differently. Him at 25, that's a different argument. Now I'm with you, Pat. If you could tell me that John Michael Schmitz will solidify this line for the next 10 years, which I believe the line will be together for that long, especially if we cap healthy, then at 25, yeah, it's possible. But then I would take the NYG approach where, okay, I know I can get Schmitz at 25, but if somebody wants somebody else at 25, let me trade back, but not too far, and to make a little bit more sense to get John Michael Schmitz maybe at like 29 or 30, or at the beginning of the second round. That way
True.
people don't. And like I said, if you don't care about public opinion, then that's fine. Snatch him up at 25. But I'm just saying, we saw what happened with Wan'Dale Robinson last year. We traded back twice and got Wan'Dale Robinson, and people still had a fit about it. Still had a fit about it. So imagine if they target John Michael Smith, expect us to move back a little bit and try in a safe spot where we can still get him.
I mean,
D'Ayla, shout out to D'Ayla. Welcome back to the channel, brother. He does make a good point, but Creed Humphrey was never considered a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Creed Humphrey was never considered a first round pick.
I don't even think he was considered a second rounder.
Right. People were surprised when they took him in the second round. So that actually helps our argument a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
But
now
ahead.
Coach, I'm gonna just add into it. Now we were on a space earlier. I wish you guys were there to be able to chime in. I asked Coach a question. I said, what center would be able to come in and start on this team immediately? And he said 2 guys, John Michael Smith, and what was the other one, Coach?
Whitepler.
Whitepler.
Luke at Ohio
Luke
State.
Whitepler. So
Mhm.
my
A
point
big drop
being,
off.
it is a big drop off. But what I'm saying though
I
is
disagree.
the
I
the
don't think it's that big of
It's
it.
not that big,
I
but it's
don't
it,
think
big.
it's
it,
It's not
big the
that
way
big.
you're making it. If you're
yeah,
telling me it's 10
it's gonna
positional
be
points,
options.
go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, NYG.
No,
I'm sorry.
nah, I'm just saying, like, we can't get like caught up in just, like we need this center, like we have to have this center and be desperate about it. And this is what Dave Gettleman did. He reached for so many players, and I mean, yeah, we want our line solidified. It's been our bugaboo for so many years, but this guy is not reactional. He's not going to reach for any position or any player. He's going to let the board dictate what what he does. And even if you miss out on Smiths, if you can get this Wipler kid, is it that bad? That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Be
So,
Yeah,
patient.
it's
so
three
what you're
centers that I
saying
If
actually
is,
you
like.
can guarantee me Whiteler in the second round, I would definitely consider taking another position in the first round. But
so
that's not a guarantee because if he's the second best center, that means he can be taken well before he's supposed to be taken in the bottom of the second round if he's the
Yeah.
second best center. So you can
That's
mess
true.
around and lose
That's
out on both.
To me,
but
that
that's
That's
why he
where
50-50
got
that's
spot
11
where
is a
the
picks
little
though.
tricky. It's a
that's where
little
the
Well, he
tricky
got
at
trades come
50-50.
It
in
don't matter how many picks you got
at
if
that
the
If
10.
dudes
dudes are
aren't on the
gone.
board. If the dudes are gone.
So
But what
let
I'm
me
saying though, you can maneuver in the draft. See, we looking
order
for
in the
trades for
courts.
wide
That's
receivers,
smart.
but I think the trading is gonna happen in the draft. That's all I would say. I think they're gonna make some moves in the
can
draft.
can I throw another name out there that's another center that I think is just as good as Wipler? It's the Michigan kid, Oluwatimi.
Olamatimi's pretty good
Then
too.
the Georgia guy, the dude from Georgia.
He's
He
not
went back to
leaving.
school.
He went
He
back to
went back to
school.
Wow.
school.
Talking about Van Pran. Yeah, he went back to
Hmm.
school. Tipman was another name that people throw out, but Tipman is 6'6". Leverage might be an issue with him.
It's
Yeah.
also it's also mobility. He's not, because remember what was one of the best things about Feliciano, where he can open and get to the edge,
He could
you
pull.
know,
Yeah, he sure could pull.
and that's why I say with Weipler and Oluwatimi, they have that
Coof
ability to
man.
get to the they have that ability to get to that edge and open and be lead blockers. So, those are some of the things that, because I'm looking at what we did last year offensively. So, I mean, that goes into my factor also, and, we all love Schmidt. We all do. Trust me, I do too. That boy is a straight mauler. That's exactly
Man,
what you want.
Rick Wall.
He'll get in a phone booth and he will
Yeah,
smash your face through the glass, and that's what I love.
yeah.
But, in the same token, if the other ones are there, like, we keep saying it's a big drop off. For me, if you tell me it's just basically 10 positional spots, I don't consider that a big drop off. Now, if you're telling me you're going from a second rounder to a fourth rounder, I'm with you.
Okay,
If you're going
okay.
second round to third round, if you want him that bad or someone that bad, you can still make a trade. Like, and that's the thing. It's like,
That's right.
if we want them, and you want to play the game and you want to play chess, why not get both of them? What's the old story about the cow, the father cow and the son? The son wants to go
Yeah.
down and bang
Fuck them
bang
all.
a cow, and the father said, "No, take your time and go down
Fuck
and
them all.
get them all."
Yeah.
So it's the same thing to me. Look, why not get
Man.
one there and one in the third? And guess what? If we got to trade something in the later rounds, all right, I'll do that.
So
So,
Okay.
I got a
So
monkey wrench.
go
I,
ahead,
Go ahead,
Mets.
Mets.
Go ahead.
so essentially, in other words, what unpopular and coachy are saying is where Gelman essentially reacted and it bit him in the backside more often than not. Shane is basically playing the passive game, i.e., letting the chips fall as they fall. And if you can get the player, you can get him. And if you can't, let him go, essentially.
I mean, that's basically what they're saying. Play the board how it goes. If if
Yeah,
if, if Michael Schmitz falls at 25, but let's say you got somebody like a Joey Porter Jr. or Jordan Addison or Nolan Smith, if you have
Hell
them
with them.
ranked higher on your board, you pick them before you take Smith, and if Smith doesn't fall to the second round, you can go with Weipler. Hey, there goes the third
Ooh.
founder.
There he is.
And there we
Joe.
go.
Hey, Joe, what's up, man?
Hey, Joel.
Mello,
Joe.
what's going on, Mello?
Hey, Joe.
Thank you for
What's
tuning
good,
in.
Mello?
Well,
Just grab him by the pussy.
yeah.
Are we hour in? We
Yeah.
hour in yet? I think we hour in.
Yeah, 50
Well,
minutes.
50
50
minutes
minutes.
You know, I wasn't going to, and I said, fuck it, because you guys are like my family.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm not stoned. I'm not buzzed. I'm everything.
He's tired from rehab.
What?
I said, you're tired from
I said he's
rehab.
tired.
Yeah. And I just don't feel good all day. The wife said that I looked real white, but my blood sugar was 111, so that ain't it. I'm getting something from somewhere, and I just don't feel good. And it was nice out today, and I was cold. So
Well, there has been a
Your
cold
blood pressure?
in
You check your
South.
blood
no,
pressure?
that blood pressure is good. As good as my blood pressure is fine. My A1C is fine. Everything is fine. But she
All
said,
right. Well, I'm going to tell you what the problem is, and people may not like it.
okay.
Your balls are too full. You need a release.
Well, he is Lord of the Big Blue Balls, so he's
Oh
used
my
to it.
God. Oh, it might be. It could be. Hey guys, everyone in the chat, how you all doing tonight?
What's going on, Joe? Hey, Joe, brother, if you need your rest,
Oh,
brother,
no,
get your
Joe.
rest,
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
We'll hold it down for you,
I'll
man.
say this.
I-
I'll say this, Joe.
I don't know if it's rest. I don't know if it's.
Oh, it's the other R word, release.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then, hey, and then get rest. After the release, you rest.
R&R. A little R&R.
The original R&R.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Snarf.
But we were just talking about.
That's right. Just let it be. Let it be.
We were just talking about the draft, and Joey B is having a ball. He says we arguing about drafting a center makes me happy. Kind of does, man, because we've been ignoring the offensive line for too damn long, people. I'll be honest with you, man. We got the weapons, but if we can't protect our quarterback, Barkley can't do what he does,
It's true.
and Jones can't do what he do. Or he's going to be running for his life again. And if he throws 18 touchdowns and rushes for 800 yards and 10 touchdowns, he's going to be the worst quarterback in the league again. So
Titman is too tall, man. Titman like 6'7", ain't he?
Yeah. 6'6", man. He's no
playing
leverage.
center, that's crazy.
You can't do that, man.
The
Leverage.
quarterback ain't gonna be able to see over him to throw the ball. Titman is way too tall.
So how? Okay, we arguing about.
This is not little
I
either, though.
gotta say Chris D real here. Thank you for tuning in. He says 11 years of a shit line. Come on, we gotta take the medicine sometime. That is true.
Tell him again, Chris D, because I've been screaming John Michael Smith for a minute, bro. We need a center.
So
we need a center desperately. We all remember now. In the third round, I wanted to take a center in our draft last year. I thought we could have a third round, but he got snagged up right in the second and third round. So that did all.
we had what? Was it two? We had two third rounders last year. It was Zudu and Flott, right?
Yeah.
Or was it three of them?
It was Zudu and Flott. It was two. Zudu and Flott.
Yeah, it was some people available then. It was definitely some people available then. I want to throw a monkey wrench in there, man. How about Steve Avila?
I said Steve Avila a long time ago. Lou, you muted.
Yeah.
They were showing some loyalty to Nick Gates by not drafting a center last year.
It's
different regime.
Nick Gates wasn't even expected to play. To be honest
I don't know
with you.
about that.
But the doctors were projecting that he would, and he actually was going to. And they caught an infection, and that set him back 8 weeks because he was actually going to be ready.
I would take it more. I would take it more if they were being, loyal to Feliciano because they promised Feliciano to play center. Last year.
That's the part I don't like. They played that favoritism the whole season too.
Man,
The whole
and
season.
then,
He wasn't
Bobby
worth it.
Johnson was talking about if you're not a player like Feliciano, I don't want you. What do you mean? You want a fucking showboating idiot that can't block?
Bro,
That's
it's
what you want?
Feliciano. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. What kind of cash he done earned? You know,
With coaches, we all have you want to
your
say
favorites.
favoritism. It's not favoritism. It's those that we know and we're comfortable with first before, especially if you come into a new team. You come into a new team, yeah, you could look at film, but you really don't know until you get into practice and guys earn your respect. And you know what? The players earn the coach's respect. So Feliciano, Bobby Johnson knew. None of us really knew per se. We just heard certain things, but you developed your perception based on what you saw on the field and on the field. So you know what? When people say favoritism, I just say, you know what? That's what a coach knows. That's what he's comfortable with. And in a certain sense, players have to earn the coach's respect and trust. And if you earn my trust, yeah, you know what? You are going to be a favorite of mine. I'm sorry. Some players are going to be better than others. That's just a fact on your own team. And what are you going to do? You're going to play this Pop Warner. You're going to play everybody because they want playing time, or you're going to play the ones that you have trust in and are your favorites. I'm gonna play my favorites, especially if it's gonna get me wins. Period. Case
What would
closed. And good.
no? What do you? So obviously that's probably the next shoe that's going to drop is whether or not we bring back Feliciano or not. Now, if he does not become that option, if we don't pick him up, you know, is it free reign from there? It's really the best
Yeah,
player wins.
exactly.
And
You bring in whoever and you let them fight it out in camp. And whether it's this other coach center or someone else, or they trade for him, or they draft two in the draft. I mean, hell, they might do that. Hell, if we don't
I mean,
have any centers,
there's a couple centers, some veteran centers that out there still available now. I know there's
Is it
two Connor
McGovern
McGoverns.
still out there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of them. He's still out there.
Yeah.
Did Ben Jones get re-signed to the
No.
Titans?
I'm about to hop off. I'm about
Nah,
to.
he's still a free agent.
All right,
But
Jay
he's
Lay.
30.
My
He's
food
33
is
years
All
old.
right,
All right,
Jay.
Jelly.
All right.
He's
All
never
right,
good
Jay,
one,
man.
Jay.
Contact me, Jay, man. Get at me, bro.
I will. I'm gonna still be in the chat listening and watching. I'm just finna be eating, so I ain't finna be smacking on camera and everything.
yo, make sure
No, you got it.
you got to share with the homies, man.
Right.
I'm a
Look like
virtually
he
here.
look like he got look like he got the steamed broccoli and everything.
Hey, you
Salmon.
right. I sure do. It's the chicken sugar broccoli Alfredo.
Oh,
Tell
man.
you. I know those plastic cases, brother. It's
Yeah,
either
this is
asparagus or steamed broccoli.
from Cheddar's. This is from Cheddar's.
Mhm.
Sheesh.
But man, thank you for tuning in, Jay Lay, man.
All right,
I know
Jay.
you'll be in the chat. If you want to come back, we might be on for a little bit because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
You know, you're more than welcome to come back in, brother.
yeah, man.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all.
All right, Jay.
All right,
Peace.
All
Jay.
right, Jelly.
Peace, bro.
But we got a couple of subjects to talk about. I want to talk about your surprise first round pick. If the Giants pick this person, it'll be like a total surprise. I'm actually gonna give my pick, and I'm gonna say the damn edge rusher from Georgia, Nolan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Poor
if that
man's
boy
Micah
is,
Parsons.
yeah, I think if that man is there, they may take a hard look at him. I don't know. Joe, what you think, Joe?
Oh, you want me to think on this? I haven't been thinking all day. Well, I'll give you an example. There is no real surprise to this draft as a Giants fan.
Oof.
They could take a center, they could take a guard, they could take a defensive tackle, they can take an edge, they could. No, there's going to be no place. I mean, they cannot.
You saying we can't go wrong, Joe?
We can't. If we take a tackle, that means that what's his moving off of right tackle to right guard.
Evan
All
Neal.
right.
Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Not
got
against it.
first round, whatever. First round. Hey, guys, all of a sudden, ooh, we're moving the ball down here. Now, if they're thinking that, well, we look at a.
There's a way to mess it up.
I guess I can't say it. A
A
center.
center.
Well, great. We're hammering on that. We're building that line. Either or is good. It's good choices for good players. When I start seeing the Giants offense and defense start reaching for guys, I'm going to worry then. I don't want no reaching here. I
So
think
you
George,
just want best player available throughout the draft. That's what you're
right,
saying.
sure,
Mm.
exactly. That's how I'm going to go it. I'm going to go down like that, sinking with a ship. But that's my take. Okay.
I mean, you can't really blame him. Lou, are you there? Because I know you were paused earlier. I don't know if he's back yet. But if he ain't back, NYG, you tell me, brother, who you think would be a surprise pick in the first round?
Um, I would say edge, but I mean, you said Smith, so I'll go a different direction. If they took, I think if they took a center in the first round, I would actually be surprised. Um, and that's my unpopular take, but I would actually be shocked if they took a center in the first round.
Hey,
So if they take Smiths, the center in the first round, that would actually surprise me. The other surprise would be Edge, but Pat already said that because I don't think they're really too thrilled with Aziz right now.
It can't be.
man, how?
It can't
Okay,
be.
I'll talk about that in a little bit. But shout out to some new people in the chat. King Chris TV, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button for us, brother. He says Okariki and Sanders. I'm manifesting it. I think Sanders is more of an edge rusher than a linebacker. King Chris, my opinion. When you look at him, John Young, he says just join the stream, but I'll definitely take a cornerback first, receiver second. Thank you for tuning in, John Young. Hit that like and subscribe
Yeah,
button for us. Thank you for
not
tuning
bad
in.
either. If they are on the board, if they're not on the board, look them off, man. Take the best player available out of their draft.
Right. Ronnie Bennett Sr., thank you for tuning in. First time seeing you. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. He says center or cornerback in the first and second, no order, then whatever. Yeah. I think if we become the team that we want to become, I think we are going to go just best player available no matter what the position is, to be honest with you.
Yep.
That's how
I
you
agree
really
with
should
that, Pat.
approach it.
I do agree with that. I
I
think they go
I think
BPA.
Jonathan Adams, thank you for tuning in. Brand new to the chat. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. He says, "What about Bredesen? He can play guard as well as
talked about
center."
it.
Just
We talked
saying.
about it.
Just saying. Yeah, I said that earlier. Adams. Ben Bredesen actually played pretty well at center when he came in a couple of snaps last year.
But he
So
ain't no
maybe that's
John
why
Michael Smith.
You know,
so actually he played pretty well. But
I'm,
Lou, now that you're back, who would be a surprise pick for you in the first round? Let's say if the Giants drafted this person in the first round, you would be surprised.
is he back?
that Sanders guy.
Drew Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a surprise for me as
The
well.
linebacker from Arkansas.
If they like
Because
him, but I wouldn't expect them to grab him in the first round at 25. That would be a reach. This kid will not go to freaking bed.
Would he even?
That's,
Would
that,
he
that's what
even
happened when
be?
you start from scratch.
Do you guys think he even be there like 25, or would he
Who,
be like a
Sanders?
mid
yeah,
first round?
I think Sanders
Sanders will
would be in
definitely
the
be there.
second round.
Yep.
But
Second round.
He gonna be there at
Tommy for
27.
Tommy been talking about another Arkansas player. He says the Arkansas center when it gets SEC all year gave him no sacks, no hits against SEC, and with sorry ass Arkansas, we can steal him in the later rounds. He did play pretty well this year, but I think you'd be around the fourth or fifth round pick.
Hello.
So you may be able to get him. Who knows? Humble 128, hit that like and subscribe button for us. He said if the edge is there, take him. Wouldn't be mad at that. He says Simpson would be a surprise Clemson linebacker. Actually, it wouldn't be that much of a surprise for me because I know they would try to pair him with Bobby O. Go ahead, Matt.
Anyway, As for who I think would be a
Gary's
surprise,
daughter. She said the night she saw
She might have
Joe, mute
background.
yourself,
it doesn't
Joe.
matter
she brought that dog.
we get. If we get a center in the first round, that's fine. We get a linebacker in the first round, that's fine. But personally, I say we need a new cornerback because the way Holmes always screwed up on routes, we need someone to replace him as far as I'm concerned. Are there any good cornerbacks in the draft first round? Coach that guy. Whoever the best cornerback is in the draft, coach him if you can get him. And that'd be my first round choice.
Okay.
Would that surprise you though? Would that be a surprise to you? Like, what would shock you? What would you be like? Oh man, why'd they take that dude? I think that's what Pat's asking.
In that case, I'd be surprised if they snatched Weipler in the first round.
Yeah, I think that will surprise everybody, man. Shit. Like, what the hell? But Coach, what do you think, Coach?
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Damn, Coach.
Damn. I guess Coach took. Yeah, I guess Coach took Taj and Dash's person. What you got, Taj?
What I took? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, fellas. He
about
said
the order.
surprise. See, the thing is, the key word is surprise. I mean,
I got another one.
Running back, so that's why.
Yeah, I thought of another one too.
Me
but
too.
I'll let everybody else go first.
Go ahead, Taj.
You know what? I would probably say any linebacker that we get in the first round would kind of be a surprise. Yeah, because I really don't think these linebackers are like really worth like being like the 25th pick in the draft for us. Like I really don't think so.
Hey, listen, we're set.
Because I'm not really
linebacker spot. You got a couple guys in that can come and fill him. He needs, if in case the guy needs a rest. But that guy is a 3-down linebacker. He will go side to side as fast as he goes front to back. All right. And now the next you got to have a inside linebacker, so a whammer, somebody that can get to the quarterback as fast as they can. Okay, we'll see how getting that position filled. Now, what I want to know, all of these guys that we got. Are we gonna see any of the guys are gonna change to outside linebacker, inside linebacker? Are they gonna be? That's what I want to know.
I'll tell you this, Joe.
What?
If we do draft another linebacker in the first round, I truly believe they will switch Beavers to amoeba role. Like he would play the backup edge rusher behind Ojulari when he needs a rest. Because he did that very well at Cincinnati. He was a pretty damn good edge rusher coming off the edge at Cincinnati, and he has the body and the power to do it consistently.
Yep.
If we get another linebacker early.
Yep. But
I do believe they'll switch that boy to edge rusher.
But I want to know what happened to the kids that we tried to get him out on the field and they got hurt.
Yeah, that was Beavers. That was Beavers.
Yeah.
McFadden.
McFadden.
He didn't have anybody to learn from, so he was really out there just learning on the fly. Because Jalen Smith ain't teaching you shit.
That's true.
And Tay Crowder ain't teaching you shit. So.
Hell no, he wasn't teaching him nothing.
No, that's true.
How to run away from the play.
Right.
If you see another linebacker cooking, you're gonna try to cook too. And you know, McFadden didn't have that.
Was to slip on the route.
He didn't have that.
Right.
Hit that daggone like button 5 times, somebody. Shit, what the hell's going on here?
Or basically get gypped by BS ref ball.
So
I got a surprise. I'll
be
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised if they go tackle. If somebody like Peter Skoronski falls, I wouldn't be mad at it though. I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be mad at it. at 25.
Oh hell no.
You that means Neal is getting kicked in, or either that guy's
that
can
means
Skoronski play?
they better go get Roy and Batika or something instead of going paying. Man, don't waste that first pick. No goddamn tackle when you still got that halfway player.
That's
He
not
said,
a
well,
waste.
didn't he just say surprise? He said surprise.
Yeah,
he said a surprise.
I mean, but honestly, that's not a waste because that dude turns out to be pretty good at right tackle. Evan Neal turns to be a monster at guard. Shit.
Yeah.
I think you hit.
Skoronski is like whatchamacallit.
Joel said there's no way that you could mess it up. I think there's one position that can mess it up. It's tight end. If you draft a tight end, that'll piss people off like crazy.
Yeah,
well,
that's
one of the moves we gotta watch this team for.
At least for the short term.
Well, we have Luke Cager, we have Darren Waller, and we have Daniel Bellinger still.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm saying. That's the only position that will they can mess up if they went tight end. That's messing up. That's what Joel's responding to what Joel said. There's no way to mess it up. You draft like a Kincaid or somebody or a Mayer. People.
What about Jalen Carter?
I don't think he falls no matter what's going on. I don't care if he fell out because he was fat or the whole arrest thing. That man, he ain't coming out of the top 10.
Boy, they would not subscribe to my channel to save my life. If I was hanging from a bridge by a spider web, you motherfuckers would let me die. Jesus Christ.
What?
What's up, Joe Long? Thank you for tuning in. First time seeing you. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. Humble 128. I think it's the first time I've seen you. You said the current front office will never admit
is Wells here?
to failure so soon.
Yeah, Wells is here.
Tell Wells to start putting the channels in the
links
chat.
in the chat. If one
Make
of my
it easy for the people.
Yeah, one of my what do you call them moderators and start
putting
everybody's link in the chat.
Day one moderator right there. Wells and Tudo been day ones.
Right.
Hey, I got a question for you, Pat. Do they go, say a guy like Breesy falls? You think they go Breesy at 25?
See, if you do that, that means Williams' days are numbered, in my opinion, if you take him in the first round.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, though. I wouldn't be mad at it.
It's
because
a lot of people, man. Talent, man.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. I got you, Coach.
Yep.
But shit, if Jalen Carter falls to 25,
yeah, I'm
Jalen Carter,
I'm fucking with it, yo.
Williams,
yo, man.
Straight up,
man.
Shit.
Now,
who you gonna double team?
Albert Burley. He said,
I love that.
Giants.
Curricay, I love that. If something like that
happened.
That man had 200 tackles.
Jameer Gibbs running back at 57. I tell you what, if
that's a tough one too.
If you grab John Michael Smith at 25, then I got no problem with you grabbing Jameer Gibbs at 57.
So what you're saying, Lewis, if you get John Michael Smith at 25, the rest of the draft can go how
I'm not saying that. Saying that. But if Barkley's unhappy with the franchise tag and somebody offers him more because it's a non-exclusive tag, he can walk. So if you're gonna get me a full center, a dog at center to solidify this line, then I have no problem with you getting a running back at 57.
Hey, shout out to Joe Clark. He says, "What a great smart offseason about Shoen and
but
company."
You better go get a wide receiver with that third round pick at 87.
I think a running back would be the position. I think that would be the position that would piss me off the most.
In the first round,
or the second,
or the first and second. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
You just signed Breida. I mean, even if Barkley doesn't come back, I mean, come on now. We all talking about getting the line straight. I mean, you can't go there again and do that. You know what I mean? I can't. Yeah.
You know what's crazy, Lou? When you say receiver, I think we get our receiver to add to this wide receiver room in either the third or the fourth. I don't think we go.
Me too.
Yeah,
third or fourth.
Yeah, because I think they put too much into it in a free agency for to try to. Yeah, unless they fall in love with one of them receivers and they fall to them at 25, because I damn sure wouldn't mind Jordan Addison in the first round if we picked him.
Yeah,
that means
he's wide receiver one for me.
I don't think he'll be there at 25 though.
I don't think he is either though.
He got the best chance.
But if he fails,
Rice might be there at 25, but not
Rashee Rice will absolutely be there at 25.
Right.
He'll be there at 57.
That's what I was going to say. He might be there at 57. That would be a hell of a surprise to me if they took Jalen Hyatt in the first round. Now, raw bean enthusiast, that exactly.
I'd be pissed off. I'd be pissed off.
Hey, there you go, Lou. Robert Parker said he subscribed, Lou. There you go.
You're lying like hell. No, let me stop.
If Darnell Washington is there at 57, do you take him? Man, listen.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Hey, Pat,
our Reds, man, our Reds on offense would be amazing, right? You know how many monsters we would have in the red zone?
Yep.
And you know what's crazy? If we don't take him at 57, Dallas will take him at 58. That's for sure.
Man, that would suck, man.
Yeah,
Like,
they
come
would.
on.
Yeah, that would suck like hell.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, personally, it would be John Michael Smith's 25th overall. Immediately after that, at 57, I'm going for the best cornerback available. And then in the third round at 87, I'm getting the best wide receiver left on the board.
When you have 57, the best cornerbacks in that range will possibly be maybe not Clark Phillips will be one of them.
Tomlinson.
Who?
Tomlinson, Garrett Williams.
Well, you definitely don't want to touch Tomlinson though. He's 5'8".
And nothing but Darnell Holmes over again.
You can't have a 5'8" corner, even though he's 10 times faster and probably 10 times stronger, and he got the bloodline. But you can't do a 5'8" corner, not in the NFC East.
Yeah, outside of the first couple corners in the
Garrett
first
Williams
round,
is another one.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this corner past the first round. I think if you're gonna take a corner, I go first round.
Unless it's DJ Turner. DJ Turner's is a corner.
Yeah, that DJ Turner is nice. And he's 6 foot. I thought he was like 5'10". That dude's 6 foot.
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit shorter myself.
He looks small like that.
Hey, James H agrees with Lou. He says Schmitz at 25, please.
I don't think anybody complains with that, man. We say it.
Josh Downs at 57.
James H agrees with me.
Yeah.
Well, go subscribe to G Nation Inside Sports, Mr. James H. I do a lot of offensive line stuff. I love the road graders. We need offensive linemen for any of the offense to get off.
Old classified 3F with Joe, Laura the Big Blue Balls. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says Big Pat always has the ideas. Well, thank you, sir.
Hey, all right, you gotta
talk to me about Josh Downs, somebody.
Josh Downs is obsolete on this team because we already have 3 slot receivers, and I don't believe we draft Josh Downs. Like Wan'Dale Robinson is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. He's good, though.
I'm just saying,
I like Josh Downs. He's good, but
I think he's a better version of Wan'Dale.
Now, here's my question: did Pat freeze
Robinson? I really don't. That means wanting to get rid of that dude.
No.
Did I freeze?
Yeah, you sped up a little bit.
But it might be.
I don't know what it is, but I want to move on from Wan'Dale Robinson, man.
Huh?
King Chris TV. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. He says at Perry or Jaden Reed with the 3rd round pick.
Yeah, King Chris. Shout out King Chris earlier.
Oh, Jadon Reed. Okay.
From Michigan State.
Okay.
I just think that we lose out on talent trying to force him into, you know what I'm saying? Trying to force him into the rotation. We lose out on talent.
You think that him putting him in the rotation forces him to get the ball?
It forces you to miss out on people like a Tank Dell. I think he's a way better version of what Wan'Dale Robinson can be.
So I got a question for you then. Can you somehow make Wan'Dale Robinson a Boston Scott?
I don't think he would want to do that. I think he would get killed in the NFL if he did that.
Boston Scott would get killed too.
How
much bigger?
Boston Scott is pause, but that's a thick little dude. Pause. He can run the rock.
Not to mention that guy's been a giant killer the last several years.
I can't stand them, Mets. I hate them.
You know what happens? You can't see them. You can't
That's
see
true.
them.
But Wandell is so
Bradshaw too. Yeah.
Wandell
but
Robinson
Wandell's a
stronger than
little
people
dude
think.
though. Yeah.
I got to look up Boston Scott's measurables. I want to see how much.
Wandell too light in the ass, man. Pause.
Wandell's like
Boston Scott is 5'6", 203 pounds.
Yeah, you see that? It's a bowling ball.
Like 190.
Yeah, Wandell is. I think Wandell's 180. So yeah, now you right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little dude's a bowling ball. He's like shit. Like what's Sproles? Sproles was a little bowling ball. Maurice Jones-Drew was a bowling ball.
You know who can kick rocks? Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, he been talking reckless.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Ron? Joe Clark, thank you.
What was his nickname? Muscle Hamster?
Something like that. Yeah, Wandell is 5'8", 185. So yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
It's 20 pounds heavy. Yeah, that makes a difference, especially.
Yeah, he is. Dealer. He is like a smaller Austin Eckler. Only when he plays the Giants, because he don't do shit against nobody else.
I ain't seen D. Ella in forever.
Even though he did play running back for Nebraska, he got up out of there because he didn't want to play running back.
Yeah, because his body was getting tore up.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Campaign.
Go ahead, NYG.
To your point though, he kind of adds to our problem with the hurt receivers. I mean, you just took this guy with a 2nd round pick, and look, if I'm being honest with you, if I could get rid of Wandell Robinson and get a guy like Josh Downs or Tank Dell in the 2nd or 3rd round, goodbye. Sorry.
Well, here's a question then for everybody then. Does Wandell Robinson stop you from doing that?
Yes.
He shouldn't.
I mean, he shouldn't, but I think he is.
But see, the problem is, I mean, you're adding receivers. I mean, you got Shep. You still got Colin Johnson on the roster. You done added Slayton, Paris Campbell, and most of all these guys are hurt, including Wandell Robinson, and that's the problem for me. It's like, who the hell we gonna put on the field?
Yeah, week 1. That's the question. We know it's gonna be Hodgins and Campbell right now. You know,
and Slayton, and people are gonna hate that. Yeah,
not Slayton, Shepard.
Shepard
won't be healthy.
Not gonna be there week 1. He's not.
He won't be.
Man, I think Shepard's a player coach this year. They gave him a contract to come in and hype these young boys up. But let's talk about our passing offense going into this next season, because I couldn't get in a conversation on Spaces to save my life, but there's a lot of disrespect going on for Slayton.
Talk about it.
A lot of disrespect.
You can add me to that list.
And people are just hating on the guy. Oh my God, why would you re-sign Slayton? He's terrible. He drops passes. He's this, he's that. And little do you know, Slayton's not the only damn guy we brought to this roster. We brought Campbell and we brought Waller. Like NYG said, we brought Waller to be the number 1 guy. And he can do that because he's that special of an athlete. You can line him up on the outside if you want to. You can line him up in the slot. You can put him at the tight end position. He brings eyes to him. Then you got Campbell out there who's a better route runner than Slayton. He brings eyes to him because he has 4.31 speed and can route run, and he's 6'1", and you can use him in a multitude of ways.
But that's the issue, Pat.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
When you put Slayton out there as the 3rd receiver, not the number 1, the 3rd, imagine Waller going down the middle of the seam in the middle of the field. Imagine Campbell doing a deep dig across the field at one point. Imagine Slayton doing a deep dig across the other side. You see how Slayton's going to beat your 3rd best corner almost every time. He's proven that.
Mm-hmm.
He's been going against number 1s his whole career, not at a number 1, but he's still been putting up 700 yards consistently. You can't take that from him.
Nope.
So imagine this dude being able to play the role that he's supposed to play.
Hold on.
Now
Pat.
what?
I said, hold on, Pat. I feel you, but I want to address Anthony and King Chris at 10:54. He says if Slayton is your number 3, then you have a wide receiver squad. Agreed, but I'd much rather have a better wide receiver squad where he's on number 4. And King Chris TV says mostly all of DJ's highlights was to Slayton, and people be acting like he ain't do shit last year. No, he did do his thing. But one of the things I said to Pat on the live stream during the draft when we drafted Darius Slayton, I said, "Oh man, he had a lot of drops in the year before he got drafted." I was worried about that. That was a concern that we mentioned on draft day. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of times where he'll get wide open and drop the ball.
Hold on. You gotta let me cook, man. When you got Slayton playing the role that he's supposed to play, he brings eyes to him as well. He was the only receiver last year that got people out there backpedal. So imagine sending him streaks up the middle of the field and both the safeties are looking at him like, oh shit, he's beating our third corner. We got to roll with him. Now everybody else has a chance to party in the middle of the field. What does Hodges do best? Middle of the field. Didn't matter who they put on the outside. He was getting in the middle of the field, catching passes. Now you make that a hell of a lot easier. Now you got Waller, big ass in the middle of the field doing whatever the fuck he wants. You're going to have to bracket him sooner or later. Then you got another speed demon on the outside that knows how to run routes, so the comeback route is there anytime you want it now. Anytime you want it, throw it to him because he has to back off fucking Campbell because he doesn't want to get burned deep. Now Hodges can work in the middle of the field, and I still ain't mentioned Barkley.
That's
still
true,
ain't
Mr.
mentioned
Clark.
Barkley.
That's true, Mr. Clark.
Still ain't mentioned Barkley. Now what if Barkley's out there in the flat? Now you got to send somebody out there to the flat with Barkley or watch him party.
It sound good.
No, the Giants is a problem, bro. 11-6. Nigga, I'm back on my bullshit.
Slayton as your third receiver makes your receiving room that much better because he's not playing the number 1 receiver position, which he shouldn't be doing. But he's been doing that the past 4 years. Now he gets to play the role that he's supposed to.
11-6, baby, back on my
That's only provided if we get OBJ.
OBJ is done.
OBJ is done, man.
Gulag for the Jets.
OBJ showed everybody it's about the money. It's about the money for OBJ.
Right.
He looking for the biggest bag. He ain't worried about it.
I ain't even got to our normal slot receiver, James, and Wan'Dale Robinson when he gets back. Or young Shep when he's back. Now Shep only has to run 5 to 6 yards. Because everything, Waller opens up everything on that field. How do you think the Chiefs are so good? That motherfucker Kelsey opens up everything. That's why they don't have to have dominant receivers across the whole team. Kelsey opens up everything. You have to put. Waller was destroying Derwin James one-on-one every time. Eating them alive. You can't do nothing with them. Who you gonna put a DB on them? Eating alive. You gonna put a safety on them? Eating alive. Definitely ain't gonna put a linebacker on them.
Pat, the way you talking right now about this offense, for me, 25 might be Osiris Torrance and 57 might be Whippler. Back-to-back offensive linemen.
I wouldn't give a shit because you know why? Now you know why. You know why? Because now Daniel Jones can do this the whole time for 3-4 seconds. How you gonna guard on them people for 4 seconds? Everybody from except for Hodges, 4-3-1, 4-4, 4-4-1, 4-3-2. Like who you gonna guard all the mugs for 5 seconds? You must. It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers were. No way.
I'm back on it now. So yeah, it's all about the offensive line for me.
Y'all talking about Slayton like he's the number 1 receiver again. No,
well, if
clown.
that makes you happy, Mr. Alec Jones, congratulations, sir. More power to you. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Listen.
Y'all thinking, oh, he re-signed Slayton to be the number 1 receiver. He signed him for 6. You know why he signed him for $6 million for 2 years? Because he's getting ready to play the role that he's supposed to. And if they do move on for Campbell or get somebody like Addison and he comes in and outplays Campbell, who's only on a 1-year deal, you're still set.
Facts.
You put Slayton as the third receiver. There's not 1 third or second DB that's going to stay with Slayton the whole game. Those deep dig routes are going to come easier now.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That man was out of place and was still averaging 700 yards a season. That's pretty damn good, considering he was a 5th-round pick.
And for clarity, Slayton was 17th, tied for 17th in drops. He had 5. Saquon Barkley, who has been dropping passes quite often that nobody wants to talk about.
Nobody wants to talk about that shit. NYG, you the only one that's been bringing that up.
And has led the team the past couple seasons. To throw some names in there, everybody want Gabe Davis. He had
So
7
you can't
drops.
hold him to the same standard as a
Okay,
wide receiver.
I can hold Gabe.
Let's be
I can
honest.
hold Gabe Davis to that standard though. He had 7 drops. People want to give up picks for this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I don't want Gabe Davis over here. I want a rookie.
Let's be honest.
Ayuk had 5 drops. They want to give up picks for him.
So you
T.
mean to
Higgins
tell
had
me-
5 drops.
hold on,
They want to give up
NYG.
picks for him.
Hold on, NYG. Now, Lou just said he doesn't hold Saquon Barkley up to the same standards as a receiver when it comes to catching the ball. When Saquon Barkley had 90 catches. When it comes to drops, you drop the ball. I don't care who, unless it's a fullback out there with stone hands. I'm quite sure Alvin Kamara's held to the same standard as the receivers out there when it comes to catching the ball. You're a receiving running back. That's one of your best traits.
No, I'm not saying I'm not going to get on him for it, but I'm saying you can't hold him to the same standard as a receiver in that regard.
What's
yeah,
going
you
on,
still get
Miz?
on him and you still correct the issue that's causing it, but you can't sit here and be like, hey, motherfucker, you dropping too many balls. Because if he be like, motherfucker, you drafted me to hand me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But can we be honest though? The whole issue with Slayton is it wasn't about the volume of the drops, it's when he was dropping.
The timing, yeah.
But
it was about what was happening. Like
the
game
thing
winners.
is
he was dropping.
now he doesn't have that pressure on him. Right, he doesn't have that pressure on him anymore. It's going to be Waller.
Yeah,
but when you're getting that reaction from people, that's what they remember. They remember the drop in with Washington.
They remember one
They
game.
remember the drop last year. They remember the fumble. They're getting punched out. It's just the situations for Slayton. Is where he dropped the ball. Kind of like how Evan Ingram was. It was when he was dropping the ball or what happened. Like Evan Ingram, you could probably take
what Evan Ingram did when he wasn't the focal point of the offense. You saw what he did, right?
True.
He didn't drop hardly nothing last year.
Joe Shane said he wants the link.
Good point.
What's up, Miz?
What's good, Miz?
He got time today.
So when people give Slayton, that hard time, obviously there's a lot of stats you can throw out there that shows that him dropping the ball wasn't as big of a deal as people are saying. Kind of like the same way people call Daniel Jones a turnover machine when he ain't really been turning the ball over.
There you go.
It's just that history that people remember because
Daniel
one thing
Jones
is the
got
media.
one fumble. Yeah,
but the media. But like I said, I remember that drop in the Washington when they were the football team that year. I remember that drop. And
but
so
that's
yes,
the one drop that he
I hear
had,
you.
and he didn't even cost us the game. It was the penalty that they bullshit penalty they called on Dexter Lawrence that cost us that game.
No, I get it. The offsides on the field goal.
And then they talk about the Minnesota game, a game that we won. Yeah, it was a critical drop, but guess what? When you're a team and when you play team football, your teammates are there to pick you up.
No.
And
Now
you
listen,
seen Daves go on the sideline and pat him on the back like, yo, it'll be all right, man. So stuff like that breeds confidence, man. And this guy coming back into the second season, I think he'll get better. And one more thing, Dash, before I let you go.
You got it.
We talk about coaching and how coaching can help Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, but nobody thinks Slayton or any of these other players can get coached up. And I'm just wondering why.
Make Barkley start catching bricks.
I'm on the same boat as you guys when it comes to Darius Slayton. I knew because we thought it was a mystery when he didn't play early in the season last year, and you saw the difference when he got in there. So I'm all for the Slayton talk. I'm just saying when you hear people talk badly about Slayton, that's just the reason why. And some people go a little bit harder pause than others. But for me, I'm absolutely with you guys. If he's the wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, I got no problems with it for real. But my issue was, and you always say, $6 million. That's a lot. He gotta give me $6 million worth a game. You know what I mean?
Well, we
That's
can't
fair.
give him.
Hold on. Alan Lazard just got 11 million for doing less
Yeah,
No,
but I
in his
can't
was
care
in
about
about
his
to say.
5
nobody else
years.
on
Was
any
about
other
to say
team.
we ain't even really in a position to make that kind of statement when Galladay got a $72 million contract for one motherfucking
That's
touchdown.
true too.
Hey,
Right.
I didn't make that mistake though. That wasn't my mistake. I'm just
But
saying you see
hey,
it.
I got Miz, you there? I gotta let
I'm here.
Miz say what he
Yeah.
gotta say. You know, we've been going back and forth in
Coach Miz.
text. Me and Miz been getting into it a little bit, but gotta let the man come in and speak his
Hey,
piece. What's going on, Miz?
I'm good. You know I love you. That's it.
It's the Jewish Ken
He
Samrock.
gave
all
you
I gotta
that big
say.
intro. It's all
Yeah,
love.
yeah. No,
It's
I'm
Brady
getting a
Ken
little heat. I'm
Samrock.
getting a little heat on. I'm getting some heat on Twitter just for trying to keep it real. Everybody knows I always pick up the Giants for years, but I just kind of challenging the Giants. Like my thing is, I get it. I get it. There's not a lot out there right now, so we're bringing back what we know. We're keeping our guys, and
The
sometimes
signal
that's
in the garage ain't that good.
well,
Yeah,
there's
Opinion.
no
like you
continuity.
going in
All
and
I'm
out,
saying is
Miz.
like there's not.
Yeah, you
Hey,
breaking
Yeah,
up.
he's
Miz,
in
you
the
going in and
Matrix.
out, bro. You in the Matrix, Miz.
You're breaking up and pausing.
Yeah, we
You gotta
can't
get that
hear
man
you,
and
bro.
get him an Ethernet cable.
Yeah, that garage is not doing you justice, Miz.
He still froze too. Don't even know.
Right. Well, when Miz reboots, we'll get back to Miz. But I just wanted to explain to you guys the whole Slayton situation is not the same because we don't have the same people around him.
Yeah.
True.
Now he's not the number one guy anymore.
True.
Like people have to understand offensive concepts. When you can use that dude the way that he's supposed to be used, he is a weapon because he brings eyes off everybody. If you make that dude shoot up the seam on a deep route, you tell that man run as fast as you can on the post route. Now
So
everybody has to realize that this dude is getting up the damn field in a hurry. Oh, now the safety has to come over to him. Guess what? Now Waller, big 6'6" ass, is one on one with one of your safeties. And guess if both safeties have to pay attention to Slayton and Waller, now Campbell can get off. Now
okay.
Hodges can get off.
So we can agree right now the way it looks that the New York Giants are probably going to be running 11 personnel heavy.
Perhaps.
Perhaps you might see more 12 too, but in certain situations. But I'm assuming it's going to be 11 heavy. Who is the wide receiver one and who is the wide receiver two for the majority of this
That's
time?
and that's the problem. Everybody's worried about these damn, what do you call that? What are we type shit? These damn
Yeah.
labels. Everybody
Let's
worried about these labels. No, we got receivers out there on the field and what they do.
But let's not forget the
We have a depth chart
heavy
though.
out.
We got to respect the depth chart. It's going to happen.
No, do you think the Chiefs are rolling out there saying, "Man, who's the receiver one? Who's the receiver two?" No, they're saying, "Well, let's line up and let's see if they can stop us with what we do."
And that's usually get
Let's
the
see.
ball. And that's
Yeah,
usually
let's
the ball to Kelsey.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if you can stop Kelsey. Okay, you stop Kelsey. Now we got Kadarius Tony out here 1-on-1. Let's see if you can tackle him in the open field when we get him the ball real quick. Let's see if you can
And that's
stop Sky Moore. Let's see if you can
that's
stop
good.
Sky Moore for getting a deep dig across the middle. Let's see if you can stop Juju Smith-Schuster from catching this quick 5 yards and break off one tackle and get 10 yards. Let's see you stop whoever out there. Go
Now,
ahead, man.
go ahead,
Chiefs
man.
don't have Juju anymore. He left and went to the
I was
Eagles.
talking about last year when they had him on the team. Hey,
So
thank you, Michael Moeller, for becoming a new member and talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. Appreciate it, bro.
shout out
Thank
to
you.
Mike. Shout out to Michael. So what I'm saying is, I mean, yes, situational. You have wide receivers for different situations. I'm just saying in general, when you look at this roster, there's going to be a wide receiver one, wide receiver as far as the depth chart goes. We're not talking about XZ wide receivers, things like that. Who are we rolling out there? Who are the starters? Like I said, if we run 11
They're
personnel,
gonna roll out there based on the matchup that we have. If you got a bad slot corner, more than likely they're gonna put Campbell right there. If Wan'Dale Robinson is not healthy, they put Campbell on your bad slot receiver. They might put Waller on the outside and make you line up your best corner against Waller to take him out the game, and let Slayton party across the middle of the field on deep dig routes because your third corner can't keep up with Slayton going across the field. You know, they might put Saquon Barkley out there and make the linebacker go guard him. You don't know what we can do now.
You could also go 4 wide, put Slayton on the outside, Paris Campbell on the other outside, and then do a combination of Waller, Shep, or Wan'Dale Robinson, and depending on who you draft in the draft, you know, to eat up the middle of the field. They have
and we
options.
keep forgetting about Bellinger. Bellinger ain't no slouch either.
I'm not saying it because I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just doing it just to pick your brain. So,
Welcome back, Miz.
Oh yeah, I know Dash. I know what you're
right. If Cajun shows up, my God, what are you gonna do?
The targets are ridiculous. And hopefully everybody gets a jersey. Put it that way. Everybody gets a jersey on Sunday, hopefully.
But what we have now is speed. Would you guys agree? We have so much speed on the field. It's going to be tough for any defense, especially if you have slow linebackers like we've experienced, to try to guard guys like Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller, and our slot receivers and Wan'Dale and Shep if healthy. It's going to be a problem.
Thanks, Gibber.
Fair point.
But all right, now Miz, if you're good, I'm gonna let you rock for a couple of minutes, bro. I know you wanted to talk, so let's get it going.
Yeah, what's up? No, I just I guess again, I'm looking for something that I haven't seen, but maybe I also could be overreacting. Yeah, I wanted linebackers. Yeah, we got a linebacker. I wanted that number one, that true number one, deep down the field, big wide receiver. I guess it's not really available. So maybe I'm just, thinking of things that aren't there right now. Maybe in the draft, we'll see. I just, I get bringing back the same guys, continuity. I'm pretty sure Jones has a little bit of a say with Dabo into what they're doing, obviously. Maybe I didn't want to come back with the same exact. I thought maybe we move on from Slayton and go get something better. I mean, we did bring in receivers, so I can't be upset. So I might have overreacted for the first moment. I just feel like I don't want to keep bringing back sentimental names and not moving on to bigger things and then staying the same. And Shepard, I get Shepard for 1 year for a tiny bit of $1 million. He's a leader in the locker room. I understand that. But Shepard, Slayton, it's like I feel like we fill in the same holes with the same guys. I could be wrong. Okay, you didn't bring back James, but you brought in a guy that's something like him from the Jets. It's the same type of thing, Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
But also, we only brought back.
Center on the roster, Pat. Do we even have a center on the roster right now?
Not right now.
No, we don't.
Bredesen.
Does anyone else think that's alarming?
Yeah, well, we're 2 days into the actual free agency period. We'll see. I think that's going to happen. I want to answer. Well, I want to talk about what you just said, though, Miz, just a little bit. I feel where you're coming from, right? As far as the wide receiver one, but the more I think about it, and I said it before, might have been in these spaces. I would rather have that wide receiver be groomed into a wide receiver one, somebody that we picked up because of this thing. I don't need Daniel Jones to feel pressure to target somebody. So when everybody's talking about DeAndre Hopkins, which is a great player, Odell Beckham, which is a great player, when you add that to the mix with Daniel Jones, you're almost making him force him to throw it to these guys. You know what I mean? Because these guys aren't afraid to ask for the ball, and then the continuity can be thrown with the wide receiver room being the way that it is right now. You allow this man to not throw or force himself to throw to a play. He throws to the open man or the best matchup. And I actually like it a little bit better now that we got some other pieces. Again, we don't have a solidified number one wide receiver as far as a big dog, alpha dog type receiver. If you're not including Darren Waller, I leave Darren Waller out of it. I'm just talking about the wide receiver room. But I think, like what you're saying, Pat, with all the things you can do, because all these guys have not a different skill set, but they all have something that they bring to the table. And if you can find that mismatch, which I think Kafka and Dable, I think they can do that. I think it helps Daniel Jones more with his progression because he's not just forcing it to this number one wide receiver. He's spreading the ball around, and you might not get that guy that get over 1,000 yards, but you might have 4 receivers over 700 yards, and that's good news for me.
Right. If you got 4 receivers over 700 yards, and then you got a tight end that's getting almost 1,000 yards, then you got a running back that's adding another 300 to 400 yards. Don't matter how you get to the 4,000, as long as you get to the 4,000.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
We have no clue, Mr. K. Scott Ashley. That's a question for a different channel. This is not one of the channels that he frequently calls in.
Right. So, Mr. K. Scott Ashley, welcome to the Gulag.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe.
I understand. We have a stable of good, fast wide receivers that fit the Apple system. I got it. And
we got
all available. I get it. We can still get it this, maybe even next year. Maybe it won't happen this draft. So yeah,
you're right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
People just worried about these labels, man. I'm not taking a shot at anybody, but it's like chicks, man. Like, what are we? What are we? What's our label, man? I don't give a damn about all that, bro. Let's put points on the board. I don't want to give a shit if it was me out there getting 600 yards for the New York Giants and we scored a touchdown. I don't give a shit long as we get up the field. Everybody want everything to be perfect and pretty, man. It ain't like that. Most of the teams that win the Super Bowls ain't perfect and pretty all the damn time.
No, they ain't.
Were we perfect and pretty when we won our 2 Super Bowls? Hell no. Certain people stepped up in certain moments.
The one team we did beat was close to perfect.
New England?
Yeah, New England.
That's a fact. So, literally to and figuratively. Like
seriously, like, man, y'all gotta stop. Oh my God, they're bringing back the same people because they brought back one person who was the most productive person from the last team.
Yeah.
You gonna hate on that? He was the only receiver that was really doing something, him and Hodgins. And you gonna be mad because now he's gonna be the third receiver? I can see if we was bringing him back and be like, yeah, we're gonna ride with him again because he was great. He didn't say that. He brought him back because he's gonna be the third receiver.
I just think with that money though, Pat, when that money that puts some
bro, $6 million.
That's not a lot of money, Dad.
Yeah, $6 million.
That puts some extra.
When you got
for wide receiver 3, for wide receiver 3,
you got a receiver making 20% of the top receivers in the league. 20%. Top receivers in the league are making close to $30 million. This man is making $6 million.
Big Dash,
and that's incentive wise.
Everybody hates Chris.
That's a fact.
This man has to hit incentives to get the $6 million. You mad about that?
That's
what I'm not mad. No. That's Campbell that got all those incentives. I didn't see the breakdown for Slayton.
So does Slayton. Slayton has to hit incentives.
They
to get
all got incentives in it. Daniel Jones got incentives in his deal too.
Right.
Joe Shane ain't stupid.
That dude working. Nobody. He ain't signed one person. They ain't got to hit incentives except for
right. You gonna earn this goddamn money. Damn it, shit.
But hold on. But hold on. Y'all can't sit here and tell me y'all don't got expectations.
Falcons offered him more.
I know it, and I said that too. Here's the thing about Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton loves being a Giant. I'll say that. I will say that, and I knew that another team offered him more money, and he decided to come here just because I think he's just like that for some reason. He's a Giant. He's a Giant, and I respect that. I'm just saying, as far as you guys go, there's a certain expectation that comes. Okay, it's not a lot of money, but it's still $6 million or whatever it is. There's certain expectations to that, right?
Okay, Dash.
Of course, the expectation. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Of course, Shane and management is going to have, and coaches are having certain expectations. Yes, But there's a flip side to that. With that money, if he doesn't hit it, do you know that that money rolls over to the next year? Because yeah, they lock it down. They lock it down. So if he doesn't hit it, say for example, out of that 6 million, because what is it? He structured Paris Campbell basically to hit 40% is his salary, and then he has another 60% to hit. And if he doesn't hit it, that money rolls over into next year. Same thing with Slayton. So yeah, they lock that money in off of the salary cap. But if they don't hit it, as you're saying, the expectation, if they don't meet expectations, then that's a savings because that money rolls over into the next year. Am I correct, Pat?
True.
Let me put it to you like this, Dash. The Giants signed Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and Paris Campbell for less than what Jacoby Myers got.
Right.
Yeah. No, listen. Like I said, I'm not mad at the money. I'm saying with that money, with the extra signing, with what happened last year, and with bringing these guys back, there's a certain level of expectation of being better. The team as a whole. The team as a whole. So I'm just saying, that just for me, that puts a certain level of expectations because not only did you bring them back, you brought them back and you paid them money. And it's not a lot of money, but you still
What are these
bring them back.
expectations? What does $6 million make the receiver
No, that's
go out there and do?
Not the $6 million is one
you paid
thing.
him $6 million. Now, what should he go out there and do for? What number should he put up for $6 million to earn the $6 million?
I'm happy with his yardage. I'm happy with his yardage this year, and he didn't even play all those games. I would love more touchdowns from Darius Slayton. Everybody would. I expect everybody's touchdowns to go up. So that's what I mean when I say expectations. Yet because you could have walked away from Darius Slayton, you could have let him walk. But now that you brought him back, because you saw something in him that some people didn't. So you brought that man back. You paid him, regardless of how much money it is. I'm expecting to see a better version of Darius Slayton than I did last year because you brought him back.
You crazy.
So I won't put a like I said, if he got 700 this past year, I expect him to do no less than 700 this year. And then I think he only had 2 touchdowns last year. If he can get 6 touchdowns this year, I think that's worth the money.
So he's
$6 million. It's not. I don't have crazy expectations. I'm just saying when you bring somebody back knowing that they were, they could have walked. I have expectations. I have more expectations for Darius Slayton than I do Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell's new to the team, and it's funny to even think about it that way. But Darius Slayton to me has more to prove than Paris Campbell because he got the deal back. He came back, and a lot of people don't get a second deal with the New York Giants.
True.
This is what they're trying to change, though, Dash. They're trying to change that. They're trying to get
it's a new regime
and re-sign their talent, their in-house talent. And Diella says that $6 million could have went to Barkley. Barkley ain't taking those $6 million. You tripping, bro?
No.
You're talking about that additional.
Making Barkley happy. Let me tell you something about Barkley, and a lot of people ain't gonna like this.
Yep. Tell him, Pax. I know what you're gonna say.
Those running back deals that those running backs got on the market this year, that's hurting Barkley even worse.
Yep, it is.
Not one running back got over the damn franchise tag in money per year. The closest came to it was Miles Sanders at $6 million.
$6 million, right?
Yo, Pat, can I go a step further?
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna make a prediction to you guys. Barkley's not going to be here after this season. A matter of fact, he might get traded in the middle of the season. Yeah, Lou, don't do this. I'm telling you.
No, I'm saying I agree with you. I think he's gone.
If he goes into this season on a tag, you could say goodbye to Barkley.
Oh, no, yeah. Now that I believe that. Now, they don't get a deal done, but before they did, absolutely.
I'll be honest with you. He should have took the 12.5, it looked like.
Yeah.
Because now, if I know Joe Shane, he said, "Hey, you see what the man just got? Take that 13 off the table and tell him 10 is where we at."
Hey, Pat, that 12.5 looking like 20 right now.
Man, I didn't know the running backs was not. Man, I'm telling you,
the whole market is down. Though, to be honest,
they didn't pay nobody this free agency.
Now that is something we need to talk about.
Do you think that they try to package Barkley in a trade during the draft to move up?
Man, that would hurt.
He's not
That would hurt.
signed. He's not signed. You can't
and they
trade
draft
him.
the running
Yeah,
back
you
in this
can.
draft.
Yeah, you can.
He's on the tag though, coach.
He's on
Yeah,
the
you
tag.
could trade him on the tag.
Did he
He's
sign
on
his
a
tag?
non-exclusive tag.
Did he sign his tag?
You can negotiate a deal with anybody that's on the franchise tag. Doesn't matter what tag they're on.
No, but you have to end up signing him. What I'm saying is
That's true. You actually have to sign him.
The
though.
team that
before you
trades
trade
for him is going to give him the contract.
Yeah,
That's the only.
but they
Yeah,
have
so
to
if he negotiates a
renegotiate-
contract with somebody, then they have to give you whatever you ask
Yes.
for as draft compensation.
And
gotta
because
go
he's
to
on
the
the-
option.
No, but my
and
point
because
is
he's
if-
on a non-exclusive tag, if he did go somewhere else, we get 2 first-round picks.
But that's
No,
my point.
you don't automatically get 2 first-round picks. You can negotiate those picks too.
Nobody's giving you 2 first rounds for Barkley.
Nah.
Not even 1 first round.
on the tag.
You get one compensatory first-round pick, and you get 1 from the team.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as a compensatory first-round pick.
No, you get.
Yeah.
If
They have to
if
give
they
you 2
sign,
first-round
they
picks of
give you two
their
first-round
own.
draft picks
You don't
right
know
now.
they can negotiate.
You can
They have to give you
negotiate,
2
but-
picks. They can
Yeah.
negotiate what those picks are now. And
No,
most
it's 2 first-round draft picks.
But
They
the
did
Giants,
the same thing.
That's
Hold on.
that's what. Hold on.
Hold
That's
on.
what the Giants can ask for, but they can
You can
come
ask-
lower
yeah,
if they want to.
exactly.
Yeah,
They
There
can
you
say
go.
give us a second and a third, and we'll be
Yeah.
they
happy.
can waive that.
Yes,
Like
yes.
Same
Pat,
thing
they
with
can
the
waive
yeah.
that.
They can waive the 2
You can
first.
waive
Yes,
it,
that's
but-
that's what I mean. That's what I mean because you saw
Okay.
Devontae Adams.
Which is what they would
Devontae
do,
Adams was 2
obviously.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Duran, I rock with you. You one of the originals. He says Mara will step in and keep Saquon. Saquon isn't leaving unless he's really
I don't
unhappy.
think so.
It's the running back
Don't give
position,
a damn
bro.
about Saquon like that.
Yeah.
It's the running back position, man. This market really killed it, man.
Let me can we be honest? If Daniel Jones succeeds, he becomes the face of the New York Giants. They're not worried about Saquon Barkley after that. Because right now you can still argue that Saquon Barkley is the face of the Giants. You can argue it, and you can argue against and say Daniel Jones because he got his money. But
I
if
agree
Daniel
with you.
Jones is successful next year, Mara don't give a shit about Barkley like
I
that.
agree with you to a point, because
Okay.
if we go to the playoffs and we win an NFC championship or something, and yes, DJ has a great passing year, but Barkley also has a great year running, I think then you have an issue. You have to keep him. Because if he doesn't complain, he stays humble and he plays with the franchise tag without throwing the team under the bus or making any snide comments at the podium, right? If he plays this season, handles himself with class, and has a 15-yard rushing season, 500 receiving yards, 2,000.
You know what's crazy?
There's
Lou?
only a couple of running backs in NFL history that the running back would have been over the quarterback if they would have won Super Bowls, and it happened one time with Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, they would have did that for him. Barry Sanders, if they would have won with the Lions. Adrian Peterson, if they would have won with the Vikings. And King Henry, if they would have won with the Titans. Those are about the only times I would have seen it where the running back would have been put over the quarterback.
You guys mark my words.
I think
my words.
Barkley's overall production might go down next year.
No.
With everything else that's happening.
Mark
everything
my
else is
words,
happening.
bro. Mark my words. Listen, he might not be here next year, but he's got a chip on his shoulder for not getting that contract, and he's gonna put so many good plays on film that somebody's gonna give him a bag. That's the only option he has left.
That would have happened this
Come
year,
out
Lou.
here and ball like it's fucking no tomorrow for somebody to give me a bag before my knees go out.
Bro, the Bears wanted a running back. If they wanted Saquon Barkley, they would have called the Bears. I mean, they would have called the Giants up and say, "Hey, look, we want to give Barkley $16 million a year, and all that stuff that they just got in a trade, we'll give you a second and a fourth round pick, or a second and a third round pick for Barkley."
My
You
problem
see
with
what I'm
they
saying?
would've jumped
Nobody
all
is
over that.
called. Yeah, nobody is called.
my problem with
They're
that
not worried
part.
about, they're not worried about him like that.
You take them into the season, which I'm thinking
There's-
they'll take them into the season. And I think in this draft, I'm estimating that the Cowboys are going to draft Robinson out of Texas. And the Bills are not going to
make
get
too much
that
sense.
guy. I don't know. That's what I feel. And the Bills are still going to be sniffing around Barkley come season time. And that's where you might get your picks from.
They're not taking a run back in the first round.
Let me
either.
tell you, the running back class.
Give me 1
is
second,
deep.
Dad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Chris. Kalath for the $5 super chat. He says, Big Pat, I'm still on the Drew Sanders train for pick number 25. He clearly fits Wink system and can play alongside with Bobby O. Yeah, he can. He definitely can. But go ahead, Dash.
No, I'm just saying that I just don't think,
I don't
for
think they
Barkley.
draft a running back in the first round. Because to be honest with you, this is not part of their history. It's just Barkley just happened to be here when they got here and they loved the guy. But they don't love him enough to give him $16 million when every other running back was making $6 million,
Yeah.
scrounging for pennies. You mean to tell me that they're gonna give him almost 3 times as much as everybody else?
Barkley probably ready to kill his agent right now,
I'm
man.
not saying that we're drafting. I'm saying I think the Cowboys are going to draft Robinson in the first round.
Oh, you said the Cowboys, yeah.
Cowboys.
Definitely could happen. Definitely.
And when
could
the
happen.
Cowboys,
he won't make it past. That's 26.
When the Cowboys take Robinson off the table because Buffalo really wants him, then Buffalo once again is going to come sniffing around for Barkley at some point this year. It could be in season. It could be after the season started. You know what I mean?
I mean, when you look at Jerry Jones, he's always sniffing for something or someone.
No, listen, Mets. Jerry Jones is taking Robinson because Elliott's gone and he's got a guy coming back off of a broken knee. Okay? Pollard.
Well, I was under the assumption that if they didn't work out a deal or he didn't get a new contract with another team by July 7th, then he had to play out the season under the franchise tag.
Who's this?
Barkley.
Yeah, he does.
I thought it's the 15th.
Okay.
I thought July 15th.
So that would have to be by July 7th, any of them trades or deals as far as Barkley. They would have to, after July 7th, the Bills would have to then wait until the season was over.
Why? He can't get traded by the
No,
deadline?
he can get traded.
He
can still get traded in the middle of the season.
He just can't sign the extension by then. He would have to be under the franchise tag.
I think what's hurting Barkley's market, beside him being a running back, is let's be honest, he's been injured though, and we all know he was injured last year, and the Giants did their best to kind of cover it up.
And them other 3 seasons, he produced over 1,000 yards each of them seasons.
Ooh, 2 out of 5.
He's missed 2 out of. He's been injured for 2 out of 5 seasons, and for them other 3 seasons, he produced over 1,000 yards each season.
But he's been hurt those seasons.
He didn't get over 1,000 yards last year.
Right, and he not receiving. No.
When he was splitting with
out of the 5 years he's been here, he's rushed for over 1,000 yards in 3
in 2 of them seasons.
3 of them. The second season he got hurt, but he already had 1,000 yards.
3 of them, yeah, that's correct. But what I'm saying though, I'm saying he's been hurt. You remember he had a shoulder injury last year. 1 year he had
listen to me. Listen to me. I don't care about the injury history or nothing. What hurt Saquon Barkley was when motherfuckers running backs in this damn free agency class didn't get over $6 million per.
Try to challenge me, Dash.
You got it. You got it.
So in other words,
that's what hurt Saquon Barkley. He should have took that 13.5 when they was offering to him before the market turned out to what it was.
That's every position. Because think about Jackson. He misread the market. I mean, every position, the linebackers, we started out with the linebackers. What did we say? Yo, they're not making that money. What's his name who left Buffalo was supposed to make $100 million. His contract is for what, 72 or something like that?
Yeah, nobody got the money they were expected on the market this year.
So it's the whole market.
Well, yeah, the whole COVID pandemic fucked up everything.
So we don't really care about Barkley's injury.
I mean, I'm not saying that they don't care, but it's the market, the way it's playing itself out. Because
I get it's the market, but what's hurting him with the Giants, y'all, with the Giants is they're looking at that too in negotiations. They're saying, look, dude, you stay hurt.
But that's everything. Every little thing in negotiations is put on the table. Yeah. So yes, is injuries a factor? Yes.
Counter argument.
Is it also the market? Is it also the position? It's everything. You can't just pick one spot, one little thing. That's what I'm getting.
That's true.
But I'm telling you, the major thing that happened, if Sanders would have got a deal for around $12 million a year, Barkley could still puff out his chest, be like, "Hey, look, I want $15 million. If Sanders gets 12, I'm better than him on any given day." and twice on a Sunday. I want my 15 to 16 million. Sanders got 6.
From
So you mean to
Carolina.
tell me they're gonna ask him? Yeah, you mean to tell me now he's still gonna ask them for 15 million, which is almost 3 times as much as Sanders? No, because Sanders was right under you in production. He was.
And then the dude that was
He
above
was.
him, which the guy that got signed, that kind of set this thing off was Zeke Elliott, and he just got
Hey, he just got released. And
So
the
yeah, they
Titans are
looking
trying
at
to
that too.
trade King Henry.
Yeah.
And they can't even trade King Henry because of his contract. Nobody wants to give running backs money. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's not
Damn.
Joe
It's a wrap, man.
Shane.
He should have took,
Joe
like
Shane
that said,
trying
he
to
should have
build
took
a
the 12.
Joe Shane trying to build a young team. Listen, you got to face it. Barkley's starting to get some years on him, and also when Joe Shane,
Yeah, he's only 26
wait a
years
minute,
old.
wait a minute. When Joe Shane talked
Running backs
about
ain't
you
like
got to
dogs.
draw a line in the sand, he wasn't talking about Jones like a lot of people thought. He was talking about Barkley. When you say you
Yeah,
got to draw a
everybody
line
knew
in
he
the
was talking
sand,
about
He
Barkley.
was.
he
Yeah,
tried
was.
to
Absolutely.
take care of him in season, and Barkley said no. So now he's not going to go past that line. It was $12.5 million a year for 3 years, and
It's
now
less
I
than
bet
that
you
now.
Barkley's sitting at home and wishing he took that.
Yeah,
Well,
because
he
that's
still
off the
can.
table now, miss. That
Still
12.5
can.
is gone.
Hold
It's
on.
gone.
Joe want to speak. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Joe. Joe.
I thought Joe wanted to speak.
Froze up on us.
He froze. Yeah, he froze.
Yep, he froze.
No, he's
No,
not. He's
I thought I
moving.
saw his hand move.
His hand was just moving. Joe.
Yeah.
Now don't be surprised
Yeah.
because I'm expecting in the mid rounds they draft a running back, not somebody we never heard of. I know they like the UCLA kid. We'll see.
Ooh,
Tavon Thomas? No.
talking about
No.
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet. Yeah.
I heard a lot about him that Shane likes him a
Jameer
lot.
Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs from Alabama. He's going to be a better pro than a college player.
Just
That's another one.
Des,
I
this.
mean,
If they bring one in the middle rounds, get ready to. It might be Barkley's last season here, or
I mean,
last
they
weeks or
got.
whatever.
I think they need to. We can't go into the season with Brady and Brightwell as the only backups, man.
he's definitely playing for the Giants this season.
When
No doubt in my mind.
Barkley go. They
Yeah, I
just
think
trying
so.
to. They just trying to negotiate. That's all.
No, you're absolutely right, Lou. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying with
The
this.
only thing that makes Saquon walk away from the Giants after this season is pride. Because the market says that, dude,
That always
you
comes.
only worth about 11 million max, according to all these other contracts. So that's about double of the guys that's behind you. I know Josh Jacobs is jumping out of the gym right now that they franchised him and didn't let him hit the market.
Well, I'm gonna split, man.
Where you splitting? You got bananas?
Down the middle. You have right. You have right.
He said down
All right,
the middle.
Joe.
All right,
Joe.
Joe, get you
Have
some
a
rest,
good night,
brother.
man.
Yeah.
Good night, Joe.
Have a
All right,
good night.
guys. God bless you. Peace
Thanks,
out.
Joel.
God bless.
Have a good night, brother.
Peace, love, and soul, brother.
And one more thing also, just because it's running backs. If Barkley has a big year and the Giants have a real good year, guess what? He might get tagged again next year. How about that?
I doubt they do that because then you.
But it's
then
on
he
the
would
table,
get the
Pat.
16 million.
Pat, it's on the table.
But he would get the 16 million.
Yeah, nah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best
Because it
bet
jumps
is to
up.
get.
Oh, is that what it is? All right, I didn't know.
It does jump. I mean, the best bet is to get the deal done. 2 years. Make it a 3-year deal. Make it so that you're able to get out in 2 years.
I've been
And
talking
then you
about
bring
that.
bring that cap hit down for this season. And like I said, nobody's mad that Barkley's on the team. Like, I'm not mad that he's on the team. I'm just saying with everything that's going on, if you want the best thing for Barkley is to get another running back in here, so that you don't end up with the issues that you had middle of the season, where his back is bad, or what was it, his shoulder? It was his shoulder that was bad.
My back.
And then you saw it when he ran. Like the beginning of the year, he looked a certain way. The middle of the season, he looked different. And then he had a strong finish to the season too. Once his shoulder got back right, like you can't run the man 35 times a game. Like people, like in all honesty,
That's
to
true.
me,
That's a
Saquon
fact.
Barkley now he's the change. He is the change of pace back. You know what I mean? So I mean, you just gotta find the right partner to put with him. And I don't know if Brader's that person. Brader's a good substitute for Barkley, but he's not the tag team. You know, he's not the the fire to the earth or the or the wind to the fire, whatever. He's
What are
not
they
that.
doing with Brightwell though?
Brightwell needs
They
to get
don't.
way more carries than what he was getting.
I agree. He's that
Yeah.
bruiser. He's
Well,
that
Yeah,
dude.
he
That's
can.
he might
yeah.
win out the
I mean,
backup running back this year.
He should.
you
Go ahead,
look at
Matt.
how
Possible.
I mean, I think I do agree with Pat that it's going to be Barkley's pride that's going to lead to his downfall. The fact that he's basically asking for double what the other running backs are getting signed to. I mean, you mentioned Miles Sanders, Pat. Carolina signed him for like what, $6 million a year, 25.
Miles Sanders has never been a Saquon Barkley though.
I'm
Let's
just
be honest.
saying.
Man, they're going based off what he did this past season. The man had over 1,200 yards rushing
Yeah.
and had the exact same amount of touchdowns as Saquon. He almost had the exact same type season. No
Now,
shit.
Sanders is
Look it
talented.
up.
Sanders is
Sanders is
talented.
dope.
No,
People
I
forget
know
that he was
I know he's
Barkley's
built in the
backup at Penn State. He was the
Right.
backup at Penn State. Like,
All right.
now Barkley is Barkley now. So let's not get it confused. But Sanders is not no chump.
Listen, he got to take the 11, 12 million and shut the hell up.
That it's gone, Lou. That 12 million is off the table now.
There's no way he gets 4 years, 52 million with 20 million guaranteed. No fucking
shot.
way, bro.
I would
No
I
shot.
would go going as far as giving him 3 years, 30 million with 12 million.
He won't sign that. Now, come on now. You trying to rob the man.
Shane might be nice. He might call him up and say, look, we'll give you a little more than what we offered you earlier in the year. We'll give you 13 for 2 years, 13 each year. You know, he might do that just to be nice because he's been trying to be loyal to his own guys, right? So
no, but he carried. Listen, there's a factor to this too. You got to remember the human element. Yes, it's a business, but the quickest way to lose the locker room is to shit on one of your star players and let the whole team see it. Cause they'll be like, shit, I'm not gonna take a risk of getting injured out here for a dude who will let me go tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's football, Lou.
No, there's a certain level of respect and humanity that still has to be kept, and the real good GMs and owners know this. If this guy carried the team last year, him and
Jones,
Daniel Jones carried this team with their legs more often than not because our receivers were fucking less than up to par. Let's be honest. So you asked this man to carry the team after coming back from a season riddled with injuries and fucked up coaching and a bad record and everything else, and he came in here and he balled out.
Yeah, 4 of them.
You gotta honor your agreement at some point and not be a shitty person.
I think the deal would have been done though.
You saying 13 million a year? You were saying 13 million a year.
That's dirty. 13 million is great. I'm saying if you could just what Dash was saying, like, nah, they ain't gonna give him that, or nah, you know, that's off the table. Shane could be like, yo.
The deal would have been done though, Lou.
Well, listen, you're right.
I'm talking about in regards to the deal that Miz just offered. 2 years, 26 mil. You know what I'm saying? Just
but the Miz ain't nobody. So
let me say,
possibility if you're an upstanding motherfucker, you like, damn, you know what? He did have 2 surgeries on his legs. He carried the team, him and DJ last year. We owe him something.
But
hold on, Dash. But let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you the truth. The truth will really happen. They went to this off season. They gave Daniel Jones his contract, correct?
Yes.
They gave Daniel Jones his contract. Even made it to where if he balls out, he's going to get paid like a top quarterback. Right. Maybe not top 5, but at least top 10. Then they turned around. They brung Shep back. They didn't have to do that, but they brung Shep back. Then they turned around and gave Slayton $6 million a year when the Falcons were offering him a higher deal. But they say, you know what, Slayton, we love you. We're gonna bring you back. Just take a tad bit less, and we're gonna bring you back. Did they not do that?
I'm about to come back, Pat. Sorry, I got to deal with something.
All right, Miz.
Sorry, guys.
Then they went and traded for Waller and got Paris Campbell to help Daniel Jones out on the field. Then they gave Hodgins more money than he was even supposed to get. They gave him more than what he was supposed to get by making him an exclusive restricted free agent and bumped his salary up double.
Let's not forget they got
Then,
Smith.
then they had on the table a deal for Saquon Barkley. They said they went up as high as $13.5 million. That is double than what any other running back got on the market.
He turned down 13.5 mil.
Yes,
that's what we've been telling you, man. He turned that down at the bye.
He turned that down.
That was
at the bye week. It was 12 point. He turned out 12.5 million in the middle of the season. They said, okay, we'll come back at the end of the season. They said they went up as high as 13.5 million. That's what he drew the line. Now that 13.5 million is double of what any other running back got on the market, and you turned that down. You mean to tell me if I'm a player and I looked at you and they offered you double of what the next running back behind you that put up just about the same amount of stats as you, and they offered you double of what that he got, and you walked away from it, I'm going to be mad and sad because of that? It's not because they did you wrong, brother. It's because you overpriced yourself. That's different.
That's why he fired his agent.
Yeah. Another thing that is unique about Barkley is being picked number 2 in the draft.
Wow. Yeah.
When his first contract was already a lot more than a lot of running backs made. Yeah, he already got $30 million.
Right.
And like I said, so this contract coming up now, and it's funny too, because a lot of people get more money in their second contract. In this case, he'll get more money annually because of the how the bonuses go. But his contract won't be that. He won't see that $30 million again, guaranteed. I mean, I don't think so, unless they guarantee him for 3 years. But like you said, if it's 2 years, 24 million is my cap. $12 million is the cap for me for Barkley.
And that's still double.
It's still
what any running back got on the market. You see what I'm saying?
He put himself in a hard spot, man.
A favor.
He turned down that deal. That deal was good for him. It was good for him.
They could easily be like, hey, you saw what Miles Sanders and them get? You lucky you getting this franchise tag. Yank.
Denied.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You can't even
You see
argue.
what I'm saying? So if you mad about Saquon Barkley not getting paid and he turned down more than double what the next running back got,
I was just agreeing with
I
me
got
that he
something
might
for
get
you.
a 2-year contract for 26 mil. That's all I was saying, that they might do that just
If
out of
Sa-
loyalty
I
for
tell
him
you what,
doing what they asked. But
if
he turned
Saquon
down
I think he
Barkley,
wants more years.
if
I think
Saquon
that's
Barkley, if
If he
Saquon
turned down
Barkley does not
13.5, he
sign
did it
that
to himself.
contract, if Saquon Barkley does not sign that contract real soon, this is what's gonna happen.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Nah, that's a fact.
True.
I promise you, that man will hit the market next year, and if he doesn't do the exact same thing, let's just say he falls a little bit short of 1,000 yards, 2 years, 11 million.
I would
The
have said
crazy
2
thing
years.
is that I don't think even with his availability this year, I don't think anybody was going to give him more years than the Giants was going to offer him.
Right.
Like I think anybody else, if he was free, I think his 2 years is the sweet spot. He can't get
Austin Eckler wants out of LA because they told Austin Eckler, kiss my ass. What did you ask for?
Yeah.
You want what?
And look at him.
14 million.
And
We know what's going to happen to the running backs. Welcome to the gulag. We gonna keep you for this year, run you into the ground, and then we gonna kick you out there and make you get your $5 million per year.
But the only reason Eckler's complaining is how poorly Coach Staley used him. I mean, given how incompetent Staley was in the playoffs, you wouldn't expect that. You would expect that.
Eckler had put up numbers though.
Yeah, but again, what was he mainly used for? Quick route outs and check down passes.
Eckler had almost 20 touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they still told him, you crazy as a motherfucker if you come back in this office. Well, I want to trade then. All right.
Yeah, but where is he going to go?
We'll
Nobody
see.
wants to pay him. paying
That's it right there, Mets. That's it. It's slim pickings.
You really think somebody's gonna give up draft capital to pay? Yeah, you really think somebody gonna give up draft capital to pay you high money at running back? They don't even want to pay the free agents.
It's a buyer's market. Players are the sellers. Owners are the buyers.
Those individuals who are asking for $10 million plus contracts in the running back spot, these could end up, if they get signed like that, these could end up becoming albatross contracts on the books. If you get the picture I'm trying to paint, Pat.
Oh no!
I'm telling you,
that $10 million might be the best thing out there.
Man, that $10 million is hitting like dope out there right now for running backs. Josh Jacobs out there juking. Thank goodness Raiders, y'all good franchise league. Because right now, I would be making $5.5 million. Running backs are out there signing 1-year deals for $2.5 million.
Jeez.
Deontay Foreman signed a 1-year, $3 million deal, and he balled with the Panthers last year.
That's true.
Said, overcook your work, it might come back brown. Them fiends gonna run their ass clean out of town.
You also have to factor in the draft too with the
Yep.
running
And it's
back
the
market
deepest.
is
It's the deepest draft for running backs in a long time.
Man, I promise you, in 2 years, there might not be one running back making over $10 million.
No.
It's really a dime a dozen this year.
And if they keep bullshitting around, motherfucking punters or kickers are going to start making almost as much money as running backs.
Oh boy. Sheesh.
Because there are a couple of kickers that just got more money than running backs out there. And productive running backs. That's how messed up the running back position has been downgraded in the league. And it's not fair, but that's the way it is. I don't know. Pretty soon, you're going to stop telling your kid being a running back.
Yeah.
Don't you be a damn running back.
That's funny, too. Because it was the opposite when I was growing up.
Right.
And next thing you know, they're going to be taking lawns, and they're going to be using punters that are just going to be more like, and they're going to have their place kickers end up being more like Charlie Brown's.
I still don't see no changes. I wake up in the morning and I ask myself, should I catch more passes and stop running?
Something like that.
Should have took that 13
Speaking of punters, man,
instead of making an ass of myself.
Yeah.
That punter, man. I that's one signing I didn't like. Was signing that fucking punter.
Gillen?
I don't like his fucking ass, man. What do you guys think, man?
I think something happened when we went to England and played Green Bay. When he didn't come back, when his visa was all jacked up, it was it.
Yeah, they might have whooped his ass over there.
Up to that point, he was kicking pretty good.
He started kicking like
put in the gulag for a couple hours.
He started kicking like the dude from the Replacements. Man, I pissed all my money away.
You were hiding
the
behind
dude that be smoking cigarettes while he kicking.
Yeah. That's how he started kicking. Like, damn, dude, you out here selling.
But then again, aren't most of these current era punters mostly former rugby players anyway?
Yeah, but he didn't have to punt like he was last year after the bye, man. I don't know. After that London game, man, something happened.
I mean, our special teams was, outside of Graham's Gano anyway.
And he got paid more money than Devontae Foreman. Think about that.
And I'm questioning.
God damn.
I mean, I know that gang rape Kadarius Toney was somewhat of a boon, but in hindsight, couldn't we have just used him as a special teams guy anyway?
No.
You couldn't get on the field, Mets.
No. I mean, when healthy, couldn't we have used him as a special?
Well, that's what they're gonna do in Kansas City. He should have been returning punts and kicks. That's for sure. But for us, he was our wide. In all honesty, he was our wide receiver one. You can't have your wide receiver one back there doing that. In Kansas City, they can do it because he's just another guy in Kansas City.
Right, just another guy. And that's the way we should have been using him, but we took him in the first round because we were desperate after losing out on Devontae Smith. Yeah.
Because Gelman panicked because he.
No, I wasn't Gelman. That was Joe Judge. Gettleman would never take a small receiver in the first round.
Said,
well, okay,
Snarf, can you kick a football?
But it was Judge who was sticking his foot in his mouth saying, we're getting Smith no matter the cost. And yet what happens? The Eagles poach him one spot ahead of us. We're forced to trade down.
We got two times by the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Right.
That's correct, Hicks.
And still ended up with a worse pick than man.
Do you not realize, just based off what you said, Snarf, that we just got Wilder because of that move?
Got what?
We ended up with Wilder because of that move he traded back.
Ultimately, yeah.
We ultimately ended up with Wilder because of the trade back.
That's crazy.
So it's like
That's crazy. That is crazy. We ultimately wound up with Wilder because of that trade back.
Because of that trade.
That is
Wow.
Because the pick we got back from Kadarius,
that's
right.
Justin Fields for Wilder. That's what you got.
Just like the OBJ trade turned into Dexter Lawrence.
Once. So sometimes we try to kill a move or whatever, but if we look at it in its full totality, then you start to see something bigger and better.
Sheesh.
But yeah, Saquon about to be in a gulag, man. I'm telling you that now. And he should walk into his agent's office.
He's in the mental gulag kicking his own ass for not taking the 13.5.
Because after he saw them deals, I'm quite sure any smart man would have went to that table and said, "Give me that 13.5 million now."
Yeah, give me that 13.
I think they pulled it off the table.
He hit him with the Tony Montana on Scarface. 13.5.
He pulled a C.
Assault choppers with the little trackers. They got the submarines.
Right.
Too much. I like you, Tony. There's no lying in you. But I can't say the same for your friend.
Right. I never know that piece of shit. I never trusted that son of a bitch.
What was that?
I never trusted. Man, they was choking the shit out of him on that.
On the helicopter.
Hey,
he said, "I never trusted that motherfucker."
As far as I know, he got my best friend Randy Ramirez killed.
Yeah.
They passed Tony the binoculars.
Yeah. They said you choke the shit out of
my word and my balls. You want to make a move?
Man.
Yeah.
Are you threatening me, G? You threatening me? Are you threatening me?
What?
Are you threatening me?
Oh, he knows the movie. Okay. He threw me off for a minute.
No, I was going back to the Beavis joke from last time.
Oh,
nah,
shit.
man.
Here, put the weed out. Okay.
Right.
You don't put Scarface and Beavis. This motherfucker.
Hey, that was one of the funniest scenes in the movie ever. When they gave her the binoculars. I want you to take a look at something. They choking the shit out of cousin.
Somebody talked about that too. I'm looking at the comments. Kemp at 857 said that package deal for Barkley, get a second and a fourth for him. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. If I knew that he was going to walk after this season, yeah.
You would do it? Yeah.
If I knew that he was going to walk.
Y'all done ran my battery all the way down, man. So
yeah.
I'm about to head off.
I got to get to work early in the morning. It's 11 o'clock here.
All right, enjoy the day. They got me and you in the gulag on Twitter, Pat, man. We got to figure something out, man. We got to figure something out.
What's going on with that, man? What the hell happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it just you two guys that can't get up in the space no more?
As far as I know.
I stay off of the Twitterverse. Listen, there's more snitches in these I stay off of the Twitterverse, man.
I ain't got nothing to
catch me on YouTube.
Ain't nothing to snitch on, Lou. Huh? I ain't got nothing to snitch on.
But no, listen. When you talk real and you still let your nuts hang like men normally do, that's called toxic masculinity now. You know, everything that men uphold and used to be renowned for and revered for, respected for, they're trying to turn that shit up on its head. So if you stand up and you stand in your square and you say no to this or no to that, then cancel culture is coming for you. They're trying to shadow ban you.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? They're trying to Judy chop all your content.
Tell Elon must help us out. Free me, free Pat. Give us our freedom back.
Right, but I'm a little bit done with the OBJ saga.
Y'all the Giant Tape brothers,
right?
Yeah, y'all the New York Giant Tape brothers dashing back.
Right. If OBJ wanted to be a Giant, he'd be a Giant right now. So
exactly,
he's trying to get as much money as he can, and nobody's gonna give him that money. He's gonna wind up signing a 1-year deal with like the Chiefs or somebody and try to win another Super Bowl. And then he's going to do the whole OBJ thing over again the next offseason. So
yeah, you can't say nothing realer than that. But that's the truth, though, Pat. If OBJ wanted to be a Giant, his ass would have been a Giant. He would have been a Giant.
Yeah.
And if he don't want to be here, listen, I've been a fan for so long. I've been a fan longer than OBJ been alive, to be honest. So
yeah, me too.
It is what it is.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button, Pat, for NY, for Unpopular Opinion Sports, Big Dash, Coach Amazing, Ed Gladney's World of Sports, even Snarfington Mets 2128 over there. And you better hit the button, the subscribe button for G Nation Inside Sports, or I'm gonna come find you. Forget about it.
Or we're gonna do this to you. Until the next time.
Looks like we got another one! On the ground! This is the Gulag. In here, you fight to win back your life. Gates!